afternoon, everybody. Welcome to, better pronounce it correctly, Tucson in America, in the United States, KTUS for the four-letter ICAO code. And we're doing some Southwest ops today on the VATSIM network with the PMDG 737-700. And with the AIG model matching, we've actually got a really cool variety of all of their special liveries, actually. And there we are in our Freedom 1 paint as well, a couple of Osprey Airways and Osprey World Cargo pilots joining us throughout today. So we're pretty full actually here on this A-gate section of the airfield here at Tucson. Freeware Airport scenery available on flightsim.to, and we're going to be heading off to San Diego first and foremost. There we are, we've got lots of variety of liveries here today, it's fantastic. San Diego is our first leg for today, and then once we've done a little turnaround there, we're going to be heading on to San Jose, California, the Orbx scenery, which we purchased the other day. Here's our livery, again also available on flightsim.to. This is the Freedom 1 livery, and in fact all of the other ones that we've seen, that we've buzzed over, I'm pretty sure are also all available. But really cool, unique liveries from Southwest here. Very, very nice indeed. Great work. And they look fantastic. I'm sure you guys will agree as well. Finding performance at this Freeware Airport pretty heavy, to be honest. Lots of green in the live chat as well. So say hello to all the members in the chat. David, Gav, Badger, Doctor on board, Dursey2, Reese. Hello, folks. Hello to Mikael as well. MPS Gaming, Blown Up, Phantom. Jay, good morning, and Jonathan, hello to you. All great to see you all in the live chat there, and everybody else tuning in wherever you are in the world. Dive straight into the flight deck, and what we're doing at the moment, we're kind of halfway through our, well, the middle of our setup, if you like, pre-flight. You could at this stage make sure that we've got yaw damper on with the hydraulics active, yep, and then aft pump is on. Let's pop the APU on, start that up. Cruise today, flight level 320 for the first leg. That's all good. Skyworker, good morning from Texas. John, hello to you as well. Let's have a look at Navigraph, shall we? So here we are at Tucson in the terminal. Centurio's building as well. We'll be taxiing past that, so we'll give him a wave. It's usually about 5 AM-ish at the moment, and he'll be doing some pre-flight stuff over in the airport. This airport, to be honest, which would be really cool. We're going to push start facing north. We're going to taxi out Alpha 10 or 8 up to probably hull point Alpha 3, so we used the entire runway 11 left, runway 11 left for our departure, and the burrow for departure as well. So initially flying runway heading up to 3,200 feet. We're already about 2,500 feet above mean sea level anyway. At burrow, turning right to Splits, then up to Ryan, Rosca, and then Gila Bend, VOR 116.6, and away we go for a very short hop across to San Diego, where we're expecting at the moment the RNAV runway 27 and the Lucky 1 arrival as well. So we're only going to be in the cruise for this very short section of time, and therefore before we go anywhere we're actually going to make sure that we've pre-filed or we've preset our arrival into San Diego as well, so we don't get ourselves caught out on anything. There's the RNAV into San Diego via Lindy, which is on the right hand side of the screen. A really nice approach here into San Diego, one of my favourite places in the States as well. So we're going to pin all of the different charts that we need. We're going to park up at gate 13, I think, aren't we? So that's that little blob there. So there's all our charts ready to go. And of course we're tracking the flight on Atlanta. I'll add the screenshots as we go. For the Burrow 4 RNAV departure, we haven't got a... oh, there we go. We've got a top altitude of 17,000 feet. So let's set that for... well, at least to begin with. We'll climb probably straight up to our cruise of 320. We're only going to be in the cruise for about 5 to 10 minutes as well, which is quite cool. Then we'll do a turnaround at San Diego before heading on to our second leg to San Jose. So, where are we at today? Let's have a look at our pre-flight checks. Parking brake is set. Battery standby powers, auto guards closed, emergency exit lights, auto guards closed, and ground power confirmed connected. The APU is now fired up, so skipping ahead a little bit because we've done a lot of the signs, warning tests and everything. We're going to pop the APU gens on, 1 and 2. We'll leave it about a minute or so before we then bleed the APU on the right hand side up here. Altimeter KTUS. Altimeter 3007. Yeah, very heavy on performance today. Interestingly enough, with this particular bit of scenery, 70,000, so we need to work out our speeds. There's our performance page. Don't need to worry about the second one. M1 limits then. So our performance calculations today. Let's have a little look. So it's suggesting flaps 5, but it's asking us to take off with about 90% N1, so 24k. Interesting. So takeoff 2 is actually giving us a bigger performance than the thrust that it's telling us to do. Ah, there we go, I know why. So let's do cell 40 and then take off. There we go, that's what we want. And climb profile 1 for today too. So very high performance for departure. Onto the takeoff page, flaps 5. And we can add our centre of gravity in 5.99. So we'll call it 6. Which is that little notch there.
Southwest 29 Hotel. Hotel is taxiing by Alpha 10 Alpha, holding at Alpha 3 for runway 11 left.
There we go. And it's not giving us our V-speeds yet. Why is that? Because we haven't given it all its data. So let's throw in the wind. 1109. This bit isn't mandatory, but I like to throw it in anyway, and it's dry at the moment. Let's throw in 1,000 above ground. Oh, that's already 1,000 above ground, lovely stuff. So what we want is runway, let's see, on the departures page, runway 11 left, Burrow 4 departure, bar GBN, which is our route. We included in our route today. Just make sure it is. Yeah, via GBN, lovely stuff. So that's what we want. We can execute that, and then on the arrivals page already, because we're thinking it's going to be very, very busy as we head into cruise. We're already going to start planning for our top of descent, so we've got to have this in ready. We're going to go RNAV Zulu runway 27 via Lindy on the Lucky 1 Star, and the Lucky 1 Star. Let's see, where does this actually connect us from? Where's our transition? Hogs, which is an option there. Perfect. Next page. Looking for any discontinuities and making sure that everything's looking accurate as well for us. Happy days. So we can go back to our takeoff page, and now it's given us our V speeds. We're quite light today. That's going to allow us to have our really good climb performance. Descent winds. There's a lot to do. While that's loading, we can head down here and we can add our transponder code for today, which is going to be 2000 initially. Yep. Forecast uplink ready. One 166. Gonna to make sure I've got some of these some of these sort of VORs and things done. And 1160, which is the Tucson VOR. So VORs 1 and 2 are tracking at the moment. 123 degrees. And we're going to make sure that we've got our heading bug set to 123 degrees as well, which is our runway heading. Let's clear that and clear the master cautions, and we can bleed the APU. Let's execute that. Transition level's looking good. We need the altimeter in San Diego at the moment, so that is 2996. Oops. 2996. I always do this with the inches of mercury stuff. Alright, well the rest we can sort out once we're airborne. So we shall activate that, go to the legs page, and then we're going to use this for our takeoff performance, like so. V2 129, 139 for climb out. It's very busy for a single pilot kind of op. Yoep, hello to you, welcome. Right, back to my checklist. Set FMC and obtain clearance. We're on Unicom, so we don't need to worry about the clearance element of things. Transponder set, fueling, loading, boarding is complete with the parking brake set. Let's head to FS actions, ground surfaces, release the ground power unit, release the stairs, and actually we're going to remove the chocks as well because we're prepping for pushback. Takeoff data is set. Cruise altitude pressure panel is set and the landing altitude is set with the MCP set too, and departure has been briefed and checked with flight directors 1 and 2 on, and radio frequencies set. Ground equipment's cleared. Let's have a look at the airfield now. The sun's starting to come up. Look at that. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Pushing back at Tucson on
There's our first screenshot of the day. There's loads of Osprey here today. It's fantastic. You can see them all off in the distance too. Absolutely brilliant. We better pre-plan our pushback as well. So, because we're in this, I've got the toolbar pushback mod added back in. Tends to be fairly reliable with this. Dirty 2. Should probably start the APU. I've had my passengers on board for the last half an hour with the cabin temperature of 29 degrees. Whoa. Kevin, good morning to you as well. Welcome. I hope you're okay. And actually, if we're tactical about this and we push long, we push to about there, we can then use Alpha 10. So let's be smart about that. Let's use that and request pushback. Tug's now active.
This is ground. Stand by.
Dirty 2, are you the only one in the Airbus? I think so. I think so. Fuel pumps all on. And we check the centre tank, it's clear. Just recall that before we start to worry about any of that. Anti-collision lights are on. Fuel pumps as required. So, Tucson traffic, southwest 2844, stand Alpha 6, push start face south.
Tucson traffic, southwest.
We're all going now. Fantastic. Packs need to go off.
7. Push and stop.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
APU gen is good. That is all looking quite nice as well.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release
Engine
parking
2
brake.
set ground.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback.
This is why toolbar pushback is such an important
It will
add-on.
start in the sequence.
Fenix is saying don't ever use it, but it's so handy for us when we're flying these complex aircraft. It's an immersion improver as well, isn't it? 11 aircraft today. I think it's the biggest fly along we've had for a little while, isn't it? It's fantastic. Okay, engine 2 start switches on ground, and now fuel control lever is set to run. So we're watching the engine T's and P's rise as the crew
Alright, y'all. If we could pretend to have your attention for just
start
a
the
few
crazy
moments,
safety demo.
Identical twin son and daughter are going to show you the safety features. I'm so proud of these kids. To properly fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat into the buckle. To release, lift up on the buckle. Position your seatbelt tight and low across your hips like Michael Phelps wears his speedo.
Oliver, good morning.
Hey, man, you want to take your toys and go home? There's 6 ways to get there. 2 forward exit doors, 2 overwing window exits, 2 rear exit doors, signs overhead, disco lights on the floor, lead each exit. Everybody gets a door prize in the seat back pocket in front of you.
Centurio is over that way somewhere near the tower.
It gives you leave force from time to time. It's a safety information card. Check it out, check it out.
Tucson traffic, Osprey 2472 is pushed back in start from gate Alpha 4 facing northwest.
There's Coco Lada
After the passing traffic.
in the red Air MD-82.
Tucson traffic.
Place it over your head, wrap that strap around your waist, buckle it in front, pull the tight.
Ground.
Tucson traffic, Osprey 532 at San Bravo 9, pushing start facing northwest. Tucson traffic.
Watching the N2. Yeah, frames blown up is pretty bad actually at this airport scenery today.
Pushing back and facing south.
Fuel control lever run. We're pushing back all the way to here now.
Tucson traffic, Southwest 29 Dove Hotel, taking off runway 11 left on the Borough 4 departure. Tucson traffic.
Look at that livery, it's great, isn't it? How's that? Absolutely spectacular. Long push. There goes the first departure.
Federal aviation regulation require passenger compliance with the Latin passenger information signs and posted placards. Basically, just do what we say and
Okay,
nobody gets
pushback
hurt.
completed. Please set your parking brake.
And although we never anticipate a loss in cabin pressure, if we
Parking
did, we
brake set.
certainly wouldn't be at work tonight. But
Parking
if
brake
needed
set.
for oxygen
Lowering
mask and running
aircraft.
department overhead.
Rightio, so engine start switches are both reset to auto because we've got auto ignition selected at the moment. We'll leave it at that. Probes 1 and 2 go on, and wing anti-ice as required, off at the moment. Packs set auto, isolation valve set auto, engine bleeds 1 and 2
We're sorry.
on.
If you're traveling with more than one child,
APU bleed off.
you think might have the most urgent
APU
potential
off.
down the road. And if you're traveling with somebody needing very special assistance,
Definitely
like
forgot
your
to do
husband,
that. Thank
bless his
goodness.
heart, or your wife, put on your mask first. And that's it for the do's and don'ts.
Skip
Show
the
and
step.
tell. Sit back
That's
and
what happens
relax,
if you don't
or
pay
set up
attention.
your
You've got
tents.
the
Either way, it's
gens.
about a 2-hour flight, gate to gate, the clock is already ticking. Seriously, y'all, if there's anything at all that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable, please tell us. Just as soon
Flaps
as
as
we land
required,
Dallas.
and
And if
flying
there's
controls
anything you can
full
do
and
to make
free.
our flight more
Interesting, we've
enjoyable,
got a flight
we'll
control
tell you
ECAM memo
anything
here.
on Southwest.
So we're going to have a little look at that in a second.
Extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. Thanks again for choosing Southwest and welcome aboard. Okay, that's sweet, but cash is always better.
Auto brake set RTO.
Southwest 459, taxiing runway
Ah, yaw dampers
11
deactivated.
Alpha 3, and we will follow company traffic in front of us.
Let's recall that, and it's cleared. There's always something. Engine instruments to be checked. Flight controls full and free. LNAV, VNAV armed as required. So LNAV on, VNAV armed, auto throttle armed, and taxi. So taxi lights on. Auto brake set RDO, and away we go. So park brake off. It's a lot busier in this aircraft, isn't it, than the Airbus, which is just point and click. Tucson traffic, Southwest 2844, taxi to hold point, Alpha 3, runway 11 left via Alpha 10 and Alpha.
Tuscan traffic, Osprey 722, taking off, runway 11 left, Tuscan traffic.
This is such a cool livery. It's on a 737-800 in real life. Night Shadow saying, can you give us a view showing the taxi lights? And also, is this livery included with purchase? No, it's not. This is free to download on flightsim.to. There's the taxi lights. You'll note it doesn't have a taxi light in the wheel well and the nose. There goes the Osprey. Much more pilot work there required on this aeroplane. Hopefully once we get airborne and away from the scenery, it's a little bit better optimised. Gadget, a bit hit and miss for me today with this Tucson scenery. It is giving me 17 frames, 18 frames per second, which is pretty heavy, isn't it, on performance in that instance. We're on live time and live weather as always. The sun's really starting to come up now as well. There's a couple of folks flying along. Cocolada in his red MD-80 in the Mad Dog.
Alpha, holding short at Alpha 3.
And it's mandatory that we give Centurio a wave over there in the Atlantic building. Look at that tower. It's a really good bit of freeware scenery. Keep those likes coming as well, folks. Already 102 watching. It's fantastic. Welcome to all of you. Please do click the like button if you are enjoying today's live stream. Down to the pre-departure checks, and I'll make sure I've got my charts ready. So not first, second, it's the third left. Night Shadow, most welcome, most welcome. That is looking great, isn't it? Great with the terrain around as well. Dave says, guys, look down at the mine after takeoff after a few minutes. It's awesome scenery. Is it on the left or the right hand side? Well, I assume it's on the right actually if we're departing in that direction. Centurio is probably at work around now actually. In that building right there doing his pre-flight planning. So say hello to Centurio, one of our channel members and one of our Discord moderators as well. Potentially one of his cars is there as well in the scenery. Quite cool to think we're literally digitally at an airport that one of our guys in the community is at right now. Right, let's see. Onto the checks. So fuel flow, reset rate. V-speeds have been checked. Get rid of that for a second. In it, ref.
Traffic on 3532, taxiing to hold point Alpha 3 for runway.
I'm on 39, back on here.
Via Alpha 7 and Alpha behind company traffic, Osprey 532.
In fact, that is going to be one of Centurio's little aeroplanes there. How cool is that? Very nice bit of freeware scenery. Okay. And I've overshot. Just on traffic, Southwest 2844, I've overshot, so I'll be going left on to Delta to line up runway 11 right.
Southwest 182, well, hold short at Alpha 3 for company traffic.
Strobe and steady. Taxi lights off. Runway turn-off lights on and landing lights on. Let's make sure we've just lined this up nicely. There's a lot going on here. Oops. That was the brakes, the click spots. Transponder set TARA, traffic set on. We'll get the terrain map on as well. And we're not going to bother with the clock. Runways 11 left. 123 degrees. And we're going out on the Burrow for departure. Let's line up, folks. Just on traffic, Southwest 2844 is taking off runway 11 left, Burrow for departure, Tucson traffic. Down to the left, rightio. Night Shadow, so there's the landing lights and the runway turn-off lights for you. And you can see all the strobes and everything as well. The emissives on this aircraft are, yes, is really, really fantastic. make sure that I'm lining up with the runway.
Runway 11 left via Alpha 7 Alpha, holding for Delta 3.
We'll keep her rolling. Stick forwards. Put a bit of pressure on the nose wheel. Engine TCP is stable and toga. Oh, that noise. Get back in the flight deck so we can actually focus on takeoff here. Do like the sounds from the outside to rotate. And we're up. You're up. Yeah, boy, look at that. Awesome, right? CMDA engage. And we're aiming for B2 plus 10. We're looking for the mines that Dave's mentioned now as well. Should be on the nose somewhere after a couple of minutes. So we have got a right turn coming up. Ah, you know what? It could be all of that over there, couldn't it? How we're doing? Climb out through flaps 1. Barris, hello. Never tried it. And flaps up.
Tucson traffic, Cabo 595, taxi 11 left via Alpha 8 Alpha.
Night Shadow, no. We're still waiting for the weather API to be released. Tucson traffic, Southwest 2844 is airborne, 5,000 feet, Borough 5 for departure. Okay, after departure then, or after takeoff checks. There's a lot going on with this. Order brake off. Gear lever set off. Flaps up. No lights. Runway turn off lights. Off. Flaps are already retracted due to the speed of our performance for departure, and we'll keep the altitude going up to our cruise today of 3.
Southwest 459 aligning off runway
20
left behind company traffic.
And as we climb away, we want to make sure that the aircraft is pressurising normally, and it is. So next checks through transition altitude. Look at that. And through 10,000 feet as well, which is what we'll hit first. Yeah, the weather looks pretty hideous, San Diego, doesn't it? There's the mines. Wow. Through 10,000 already. Landing lights go off. Look at that for a view of the mines. Awesome. In fact, it might look even better as we fly over it in our wing view. Perhaps. Who knows? There's Tucson, all of the aircraft behind. Fantastic. Look at that for a screenshot.
Tucson traffic, Osprey 2472 will line up behind departing traffic
Stunning.
on runway 11 left and is expecting a Borough 4 departure, IFR to San Diego. Tucson traffic.
There's the mines. Just poking into view there. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Let's see if we can capture that from the outside. The livery's insanely good, isn't it? How's that for a bit of ground effect? Alright, into
holding point
clouds.
behind the company.
Oh, look at that climb rate. It's fantastic. 3,400 feet per minute. It's a quick one. Top a climb in 50, 60 miles, and then we're almost into... Oh my god, I panicked then. Don't click that unless you're paying attention, because then you'll have an absolute fit of panic in an instant with this aeroplane, because it can catch you out.
Tucson traffic, Citrus 1770, taxiing to runway 11 left via Alpha 7 Alpha. Tucson traffic.
Back it down to there. Got the logo light off as well, I suppose. And as we're climbing up now, over the cloud tops, what have we got here for commute? Look at that. Bit of cloud surfing in what is the best aircraft in MSFS right now, by quite a long stretch.
Tucson traffic, red, service off of Swingback.
Tucson traffic, Osprey 2472 is rolling runway 11 left. Tucson traffic.
So what we can now do is we can think about, as we're climbing up, we can think about our next route as if we were ops preempting the next sector. We've got it preloaded into the aeroplane anyway. Let's get these screenshots added to Volanta while we work as well. Apparently I've taken 20 already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, only 10. I say only 10. That's quite a few already. New bricks? No, PMDG 737.
Tucson traffic, Osprey 2472 is airborne, passing 4,000 feet. Tucson traffic.
Just going to check the overhead to make sure that's deactivated. Toolbar pushback, it can linger at times, so it can cause a couple of problems. Let's head in here. We're through transition. And standby instruments on standard pressure as well now. 2. Look at those emissives. The light bouncing off the aircraft is pretty remarkable, isn't it? So we've already prepped for the RNAV arrival and everything else. We shouldn't need to worry too much. You can see our location here going through Rosca at the moment, and we're going to be inbound Gila Bend, VOR 1166, which is that little pin there. So we're actually making really good performance in our climb at the moment up towards GBN. And this little section here is going to be, well, we're not going to be in cruise for that long because there's Hogs, which is the entry into the Lucky 1 RNAV arrival. There it is, into San Diego. So you can see here along this particular transition path into Lucky, we've got to be at Sophie between flight level 240 and flight level 260. So if we go down here to our FMC, we can compare the Navigraph screen on the left with the screen on the right hand side. So Hogs flight level 350, Mans 350, Sophie between 24 and 260, so this is the VNAV doing the magic. Campo at flight level 190 to 230. Helix at speed constraint 270 knots between 12,000 and 15,000 feet, local pressure. And then Jack reducing our speed to 250 knots, and then we'll be between 10 and 11,000 feet there. So all of the data is pretty good here. Aztec above 8,000, Jeeves 6,100 above, and then Lucky at 6,000 feet. And then we've got Lindy at above 5,000. And that's at 210 knots as well. You can see there the speed constraint at 210 knots as well in the VNAV. From Lucky, after Lucky we've got Lindy, and then at that point, to brief the arrival already, we're going to come in from Lindy to Vida, the initial fix, the initial fix, O'Kane, Saya, Sigi, and then Rebo for this RNAV approach. We're going to put a couple of the fixed rings in as well. We've got fixed rings around Mission Bay. So 10 DME from Mission Bay is going to be just after Rebo. That's about 6 miles. So we'll put a 10 and a 15 mile fixed ring around Mission Bay. MZB. What I like about the PMDG, or at least the Boeing system, is unlike the Airbus, where you have to put one fixed ring in, go to another page, put the same fix in with another radius. With this, you can literally just go 10, 15, done. Lindy, Vida, O'Kane, Saya, Sigi, Rebo at 2,000. There it is. Sigi at 27. And then runway 27 there as well. We've got the RNAV accuracy stuff here too. So we'll be doing the RNAV approach. It's been a little while since I've done this as well. So minimum's looking to be 617 if the accuracy is not greater than 0.11. ...166 miles to top of descent. We've got our wind forecast in, and actually we're already almost at cruise. With that climb performance we've had, we've been blasting up. We're quite light today as well on our load, so it's allowed us to climb really quite efficiently. Ooh, Justin saying, would you say all glitches are fixed now in general with less crash to desktop? So it's very different, it's very different. It's very different. I guess it depends what you've got up to date and everything else as well. So some of these add-ons can become quite unstable with all that sort of stuff. Nubrick saying, I hear some favouritism there. Phoenix is just better, plus it's Airbus. Sounds like a bit of favouritism as well to me. So, why PMDG? Why I feel like the PMDG is better? Not through favouritism, though obviously you might think that way, Nubricks. That's fine. But more through system depth, but also the fact it's offering a completely different variety as well. Aha, I know why that's doing that. Shh. Because of that. Yeah. We've had an Airbus ever since day one of release. PMDG, Fly-by-Wire have obviously made an incredibly good bit of work with developing and improving the default one into now its standalone version of the aircraft, the A320X that we've been enjoying. And the Phoenix Airbus A320 does an incredible job of giving us a really good, really good A320. But I'm a little bit Airbused out. And I find Airbus quite, not boring, but it's just very basic and simple in comparison. So it's, you take off, it's autopilot on, managed modes, and then you can just sit back and forget about everything else. Whereas this aircraft requires you to be a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more forward-thinking, and in my mind, therefore, a bit more of a pilot, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's maybe explaining that in a correct way. It requires and demands a lot more from you, and therefore I find it a much more rewarding experience. Plus, there's a lot of issues with the Phoenix that I'm finding a bit frustrating. The weird effects over the wings that we discussed yesterday in our live stream, that just looks messy and needs to be addressed. Strobe lights, I don't get any emissives from the strobe lights. You wouldn't even know they're switched on. and in fact somebody yesterday thought I'd left them off by accident. You don't get any of that with the PMDG 737, so I guess you could call it favouritism, but based on constructive reviewing, I suppose, between the two as a comparison. Certainly don't think you can compare the two together. They're both very different in themselves, and it keeps you awake as well. It looks great, it sounds great, it flies incredibly well. The system depth is really, really nice. There you go, Neil. That's probably a nice way of summing it up as well. In Airbus, you're doing more system management with the aeroplane flying itself, whereas with this, oh, look at that. You're a pilot. You've got to fly the plane. Yeah, all the Airbus pilots are going to jump at us now, Leonardo. I like both, I really do like both. They are both incredible add-ons for MSFS. They're really, really good. The Just Flight 146 Professional, remarkably good aeroplane. If I get asked very regularly, what's your top 3? This is my number 1 by a long stretch. And then joint second, so I guess it is my top 3. Joint second would be the Fenix A320 with Just Flight 146. If I was to really push it, I think the 146 from Just Flight would maybe notch it ever so slightly ahead of the Fenix, because it's so unique and it's so hands-on and you have to learn it. But I don't think you can compare the Fenix A320 with the PMDG 737. They're both very, very unique and very good in their own rights. And this is coming from somebody who thought I would never enjoy a 737. And I was saying that ages ago, wasn't I? Ages and ages ago. I was loving the Airbus. I was loving the Airbus for what it is, the simplicity of it, the way it flies, the way it is automated and everything else. But once that Aerosoft CRJ came along with no auto thrust, I started to really enjoy it. That more hands-on sort of feel. So now this has been released, I'm just blown away with how good it is. I think because I've had to learn it from scratch and from 0 hours, you can then understand all the systems behind it, you can understand all its quirks, the aeroplane, but also, I mean, just look at that. It just looks incredible, doesn't it? It's got character. It's got a slight 1960s flair to it still with the pressurization systems. Airbus is Airbus. It's very bland and very samey across all their types. And that's another great point that Doc is mentioning there in the live chat. So the big difference between the two products is the fact that Airbus have got the fly-by-wire system, where you can move your stick left until you've, say, got 10 degrees angular bank, and then just let go of the stick and it will maintain it for you. Boeing, you've got to fly it. If you need 10 degrees of bank, you need to hold 10 degrees of bank with the yoke. And this is a much better performing aircraft with regards to performance. Like Gadget's saying as well, this is my smoothest, best performing aircraft in the sim, full stop, at the moment. And yeah, Doc, no auto thrust when you fly the Boeing manually, so if you're going to turn the autopilot off in the 737, you've got to turn the auto thrust off as well. You've got to be able to pilot it well, smoothly, accurately and carefully, and then you'll get the most out of it. So like I said, all round, I just find this a much more rewarding experience, and I find it quite remarkable with what they've been able to do to it, and it looks great. Now the question to Nubrix is, how do you counter that? I fly both, and I really do enjoy both. But I just feel like this throws everything else. It offers a lot more. You can call it favoritism if you like. I guess that is a good way of calling it. There's nothing negative against the Fenix with that feedback, because it's all feedback for the PMDG 737, and I actively try not to compare the two. They're both really good. But one's an Airbus, one's a Boeing. Vets, hello buddy. Yeah, really good, thanks. Airbus is Vets' favourite because he's a techie. Yeah. Distorted saying, why is trim the definition of a real pilot? You're flying both the 320 and the 737 just differently. I don't think trim is the definition of a real pilot. I don't think that's been said by anybody in the live chat today. I think what we're actually doing is pointing out the differences with each of the systems involved. And overall that creates its own experience. So each of the products, the Fenix and the PMDG, have their own experience because of the way the aeroplanes fly. Pretty cool. And it gives us that really cool, remarkably good variety. Dirty 2, I've got wine and stroop waffle. Planning on relaxing. Also a tight wad, haven't purchased the PMDG 737. That's alright, you're in the Mad Dog, aren't you, Dirty 2, I think, from memory? Or no, that's Cocolada, sorry. Cocolada is in that. Dirty 2's in the A321X, or are you in the Fenix A320? Barris was asking, what is the purpose of the fix ring? Oh yeah, Doctor, yeah, he said that at the end, saying that makes Boeing pilots a real pilot. You've got to be, it's more hands-on, I think he means by that is a lot more hands-on. You've got to be a lot more proactive in flying the aircraft. Blah blah blah, A321X Dirty 2, awesome. I've not flown that since the Fenix A320 was released. Blown up. I like to be on the fence. I think they're both really good. Mikhail's in cruise already. It's a great departure, isn't it, from Tucson? AR Simulations, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're okay. Let's have a look at Volanta, shall we? We'll have a look at the gravy train of people behind us. And we might need to just monitor our top of descent too soon. So, there's one ahead. Badger. We've got Delta 145. Pro Camper 96 and Southwest 5182. Mikhail in Southwest 459. Turbo Stig, Osprey 2472. John, Osprey 27. Juliet Mike, Osprey 532 and Osprey 722 for Gav. Well, loads of us flying along. This is fantastic. Southwest 595. And then we've got TRS 1770 Gator Hawk. We've still got departures going on. Cocolada in the REA 7 Whiskey Alpha. Is it Red Air? Folks that crashed the other day. And then Jedi Aviation and an Arrow that's just spawned in there as well, which is quite cool. We've got quite a few flying along today. Really cool route. We've got Tower and ATIS at San Diego. Amazing. 134.8 for the ATIS. Let's have a listen in. We've got a TCAS alert for an aircraft ahead. 2,000 above. Ooh, only a couple of miles away. There they are. Just there. We're going to have to watch them. What are we doing here? Let's see. Com2 is what we want. 134.8. Maybe we don't have the voice ASIS yet. $85 miles to top of descent, which is why we're already thinking about this. Keep those likes coming, folks. So San Diego ATIS information, Quebec. At time 1151 Zulu, winds 360 degrees at 5 knots. Visibility is 8 statute miles. Okay, wow, this is pretty bad weather. Overcast at 700 feet above ground level. Temperature 17 degrees and dew point plus 16, so it's pretty saturated as well for the air. And altimeter 299.6. Lock, RNAV and visual approaches in use. Probably not the visual approach. Landing and departing runway 27. Activate transponder with mode Charlie on all taxiways and runways. Read back all runway hold short instructions and advise information. Quebec 1183. And we're going to tune the mission bay VOR as well. 1178. Any special scenery that we're using for any of today's airport, Skyworker's saying. So Tucson was a really nice freeware scenery available on flightsim.to. San Diego, we've got the payware LatinVFR scenery, which you can get via the Contrail web shop, contrail.shop. Really great bit of scenery, and they've modelled the sort of the bay as well, with all the yachts and the central business district. Very, very nice indeed. And then we've got Orbx San Jose SJC as well, payware too. That's a good way of putting it, Doc. Simulator wise, I'd rather be in a Boeing. Real world though, I'd rather have the multiple redundancies and the automation from an Airbus. AR Simulations got a slight issue with PMDG 737 with Volanta when live weather updates in Volanta. My MSFS freezes for 1 minute. Any advice to resolve? Yeah, it's going to be the auto save function with your routes. It will basically freeze for a couple of seconds while it dumps all the logs for what the aeroplane's doing. So you can turn that off. Distorted, saying I fly both. I think they're both great. I don't understand this whole this is better than that. So some people are just going to be in one club rather than another. That's just the way it is. As you say, I'm with you in the sense that I fly both, and I think they're both fantastic. Leonardo's waiting for the EFB on the PMDG aircraft. That is coming very soon, when the 800, so maybe August time, hopefully. Who knows, they could surprise us to drop it with a 600, which we will be previewing soon as well. Last is the MD-80 from Cocolada, Gav says. Yeah, Ian, exactly. Nothing wrong being a fence sitter. Enjoy both for different reasons. Nail on the head there. Perfect. Perfectly explained. Okay, yeah, so weather's pretty rubbish at San Diego at the moment. We're going to make sure that we've got all of our correct stuff in for our arrival, which we've already checked anyway, and we're already now into the star. Our next waypoint is Hogs in 4 miles, so 4 miles we're into the star already, which is pretty cool. Prior to hitting top of descent, we're going to want to set our MCP altitude, work through our checklist. So arrival and weather data has been obtained and set. Landing altitude needs to be set, and we need to set 50 in the box. There we go, so that's updated to make sure it is correct. Landing altitude set, radios are set, and lock ILS frequency and course are set. We don't need to worry about the courses. We're doing an RNAV approach. Wing engine anti-ice as required, and MCP reset altitude. So let's wind it down. We'll whack it down to 4. We're a bit early into top, like prior to top descent. We've still got a bit of a way to go, but hey ho. Have we overtaken yet? I think we have. We might have done. Can we see them? Trying to spot the aeroplane above us. We've got one ahead. Looks level actually as well at 350. such an awesome livery. There's loads of variations of this as well. If you go to flightsim.to and search for Southwest, then you put the filter on for the PMDG 737, you'll see all of this. Mikhail, how do I enter 29906 in the descent page? 29.96. And what we can do now is we can set that in the standby box down there. And we can estimate our landing performance as well. So we're planning our landing weight of about 52.2 tons. So approach ref, 52.2, flap 30. There we go. So that's our estimated V speeds, reference speeds for our approach. It wants auto brake 2 as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get off of around Bravo 7 or Bravo 8, and then it's a very short taxi to the actual stand. We might have to sit on stand with the engines running for a little while just to let them cool down and stabilise before we actually shut them down. In that instance, what else do we need to do? We need to set our minimums. 617. There we go, that's set. We could just trickle through some of these checks. Is first time flying properly in the US. Fantastic. Right, what else have we got? Minimums are set, altimeter's set, approach is being briefed. We kind of know what we're doing with the RNAV Zulu. Did you have to manually program in the waypoints for the arrival procedure? The A320 only puts hogs and looky. You should, on the Airbus, click approach vias and you should see Lindy. L-Y-N-D-I. So if you got that with the RNAV Zulu, it should then work. Auto brake 2, let's set that now because I will forget. Top of descent in 20 miles. And then it'll be nose down to San Diego, one of my all-time favourite places in the United States. If you're new, welcome, welcome. Thanks for jumping on. Please do hit subscribe down below, and of course, click the like button as well. Welcome to Fraser's Aviation as well. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. That's too nice. You've given yourself a bit of a mission there, haven't you? Programming all that manually. Good effort. 4,123. You know what I've forgotten to do? That is naughty. 258. That's what happens when you fly the Airbus yesterday, sorry, where everything kind of updates and does it for you. You then jump into this and you forget a lot of the aircraft, like Boeing's, want you to keep everything up to date and nice and crisp. Runway heading is 275. I'm actually going to set that here. Just because I want that as a bit of a reminder. 275. So basically when we're flying this little route now and we're flying manually, I've got a permanent reminder there that the course for the runway has got to be 275, which is our track. We'll have the central business district on the left as we make our approach in as well, and we're already now top of descent, so down we go. Okay. Below transition altitude, we're going to set local QNH, which we've already got preset, 29.196 inches of mercury. Then below 10,000 as usual, landing lights on, runway turn off lights on, seatbelt signs and cabin lights as required. Then we'll confirm the ATIS and approach on final time. Leg 1 of 2 is almost over. So what you can see there, it says RMP 1.00, AMP 0.01. What we want is that to change. It needs to be closer, it needs to be 0.11 or 0.3. If it's 0.3, then we need to change our accuracy to, or our decision altitude to 778. There was a way to change it in here. I'm trying to remember now. Oh look, index. Actual 0.06 actually, that's fine. So there we go, 0.06, which is below 0.11. So we've got the accuracy for this approach, nice. Shan't worry then too much. Information Romeo. It's been updated. Variable 3 knots, 7 statute miles for visibility. Still overcast 700 feet. Above ground level, 17 degrees, 16 degrees dew point, 2997. Wait, 27. So 2997, which means we need to re-update that now. So we've got the most up-to-date QNH. SD X-ray system in use, activate transponder with mode Charlie, that's all still the same as well, and advise information Romeo, and then we've got San Diego Tower 118.3. We've got pre-tuned in the standby box there. We'll zoom that in now to, well, let's do 80 miles so we can still pre-plan and look ahead. Right. How much did the aircraft cost? Toxic idea is so it was 50. Oh god, I'm trying to remember now. Is it 54.99? It's available to purchase on PMDG.com. Let's throw it in and have a little look to see what we actually get. PMDG.com. I'll get the exact price for you. I forget now. So the PMDG 737-700 is $69.99. $70. It's on sale at the moment. And I think I remember them saying it will stay on sale until the 600 arrives, and then it will go to full price. Full price is $74.99 US dollars. $69.99 US dollars in pounds is about 55 quid. Great scenery around here. First time flying in the US since the new US World Update as well, which we received a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Kyrie Devco, hello. Good afternoon to you. Good to hear from you. Hope you're okay. How's it going? Going really well, thank you. Look at that ridge of cloud there. Look at that we're flying into. So we're going to be going into some proper pea soup again, which is where the terrain map's going to be really handy. Through that we're going to expect probably about 10 minutes. So
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our final descent, we ask that you please return all seatbelts and tray tables to the full upright and locked position.
we'll need anti-icing through this too.
And then one last time to pick up all those service items. We do recycle here at Southwest Airlines, so we ask that you please pass all
Andrew, do you mean this?
newspapers, magazines, bottles, and cans to the
It would just update. If I actually clicked clock and I started the timer, it would be giving us the time. But you can click all of this, time, date, set, chrono. You can change the different modes of the clock. That's what you mean. You say pea soup? Yes, Doc. Get the can opener ready. Through transition, that went amber down there, so we can click it. And the standby instruments updated as well, 2997. Not I forgot to turn off the bottom page. Again, Airbus yesterday, Boeing today. You lose little things, you get thrown by a couple of things. Path's doing pretty good. There's the terrain map giving us some localized peaks as well around us. And the thing with the VNAV with this is it handles itself really well, so you can kind of just let it do its thing. Let's see, what have we got here? There's a few aircraft off to your left, brilliant. Question is, are we all getting bunched up? That's the next question. We've got a busy turnaround. Going to try and spot a couple of touchdowns as well. Elliot, hello to you. Just landed in Leeds with the Just Flight 146. Nice little route from Heathrow. Nice. This is the new update of the PMDG 737, yes. And the America World update that we had the other day as well. Got that installed. First time flying around here with that. Here we go. That mist above the clouds there as well. 13,000. We've got 3,000 to go before we decelerate to 250 knots or less. Actually, we've got only 30 miles to final approach. Okay, wow. Eager to get Belfast released, Pyrig. I bet. Did you say a little while ago that you were planning on working on East Midlands as well? That's going to be really good. Pyrig, by the way, in the live chat, folks, is the developer between Pyrig DevCo, or for Pyrig DevCo. It is him. One of the best scenery developers for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Creates some incredible payware airport sceneries, and we've enjoyed quite a few of them as well. Joe, hello to you. Had a look at the problem with my yoke, and I've sorted it now. Awesome. Good to hear. That collar's back on 30. Actually going to set 4,000, is it, for the RNAV? Yeah. Missed approach, by the way, is climbed to 2,500 feet on a track of 275 degrees to Sargs and hold. Here comes the pea soup. Got one aircraft ahead of us there, can see their nav lights. Mickey Aussie, hello. There you go, lots of love in the live chat for Pyrig DevCo. The pre-approach screenshot, an external view for a moment. Just to enjoy what the aeroplane offers. There's our decel point. San Diego traffic, Southwest 2844 is inbound with information Romeo. 20 miles from approach to the RNAV 27 and passing Aztec. Changing to tower frequency 118.3 San Diego traffic. Have a little listen. Sasha, welcome, hello. Very good, thanks, hope you're okay. Route 10, 1, 2, 3, 4.
San Diego Tower, Delta 145.
Whack that logo light on as well, why not? And through this bit of cloud to get some anti-ice
Delta
working.
145, number tower, good morning. Wind variable at 3. Runway 27, clear to land.
Wind variable at 3 knots, runway 27, clear to land, Delta 145.
Okay, got to clear the music now. Go flight to 10. Get those spoilers out so we can get back on our VNAV path. And we make sure we've got this all ready to go. It's not that hot there, Doc. 17 degrees with a dew point of 16 degrees, so perfect icing conditions when you look at the icing curves and things like that. for small flying as well, general aviation flying. Going through cloud in this, certainly with saturated air, can lead to icing. Lindy at 5,000. Bidder VNAV path is back on now. Get rid of the spoilers. Let's go bring this into 10 miles. I'm actually going to go speed intervention mode here now as well, I think. Set 2. Expat, yeah it is. Seems to be. Good grief, these clouds. Cool, isn't it? Look at that mist there. The fog, the haze. Absolutely incredible what Microsoft Flight Simulator can do. Let's pop these both onto continuous, even though we have auto ignition. San Diego Tower, good evening, or good morning rather. Southwest 2844 with information. Romeo is inbound Vida currently for the RNAV approach, Zulu runway 27.
Southwest 2844, good morning indeed, Slimbrook Tower. You're number 2 following an Airbus on a 5-mile final. Wind variable 3, runway 27, cleared to land.
Number 2, runway 27 cleared to land, Southwest 2844. It was our REREF 126. 31. Through flap limiting speeds, so let's get some of these out. Centurio, good morning. Go flap 5. Approach mode's active at the moment, so we're on VNAV and approach. CG at 2,700, so we're on the profile. To retract the spoilers, make sure they're armed. We're going to just clear this as well. So, good grief, I feel like it's starting to get ahead of me already. Glide slope is active, it's a VNAV glide slope through 2,000. Go gear down here. Flap 10. Right, let's go flap 15. Might get a bit of tickle on the overspeed. No, we're good. Still decelerating. And we're on the VNAV path. We're set 2,500 as we now go into cloud for the remainder until we pretty much hit the runway. We are needing to work to restabilise this aeroplane nice and quick. Landing gears down, 3 green. Go around altitude set. Lap 25. Just in time there. Now it's going to give us some good drag curve. 1,000 feet, reset our view.
Good morning, Southwest 5182 on a 10-mile final, runway 27.
Southwest 5182, Limerick Tower, good morning, you're number 2.
And flap 30.
37, 2 miles final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27.
At 2 miles.
27 clear to land, Southwest of 182, number 2.
Delta 145, welcome to San Diego. Taxi to the gates via Bravo, we'll see you.
My God, I think we're going to have to dare it and bust through minimums here, folks.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 300. 200.
How deep do we go?
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
My God, where's the runway?
Bank angle.
Oh. Yeah,
50.
that is pretty wild. I was going to go around, but I just
30.
there's so many behind.
20.
Don't want to.
10.
We've got it. That was madness.
San Diego Tower, 2472.
Should have been a go around. I'll grant you that.
Point G's, descending through 8,400.
Oh, now the sim refreshes the weather.
Osprey 2472, Limerick Tower, good morning. Your number 2, following 737, 3.5 miles final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27.
You see, now it'd be perfect. Now it's correct. That's where the cloud base would have been.
And clear to land, runway 27, number 3. Number 2, correction.
Nice save indeed, Anthony. You know what? I was going to bug out of that.
Southwest 2844, welcome to San Diego. Taxi to the gates via Bravo, we'll see you.
Thanks to Gates for Bravo. Southwest 2844, thanks. Actually, where's Gates 13? Right there. That was nuts indeed. Beauty of flight sim is the fact that you don't have to worry about any of that stuff
And San Diego
being a
Tower,
problem in
good
real
morning.
life.
Southwest 459 on 12 mile final, runway 27. Southwest 459, Limerick Tower, good morning. Your number 2, following 737, short final. Wind variable at 3.
Crazy
runway
really, because
27,
the
clear
cloud
land.
base isn't as low as it is, but it
Number
could
2,
be misty.
runway 27, clear to land, Southwest 459. Osprey 2472, you're now number 3, following a Southwest 737 on a 11 mile final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27.
That should
clear
be
to land.
13 here, I think.
Number 3, clear to land for runway 27,
Yes.
runway 2472.
Lovely. So taxi lights off already.
Southwest 5182 going around.
Hey, he's going around.
Southwest 5182, fly runway, heading the published
Auto brake
miss,
off.
and frequency change approved to Unicom. We'll see you next time around.
Roger, over to Unicom, find the public space, Southwest 5182.
Yeah, PS Gaming, it's RNAV only, sadly, or visual / VOR approaches. How's our engine T's and P's? Gotta wait for the APU to fire up. I mean, we could look at some of the touchdowns, but we're not even going to be able to see go around because he's already in the PC. He's already up there somewhere. And we've already got some more on final. Stick the drone camera there.
San Diego Tower,
pop brake set.
141's ready to taxi with ATIS.
Yeah, that's
Delta 141, ATIS Romeo, now current, altimeter to 90907, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
Bravo, and we have Romeo 2997.
let's put the icing off. Oh well, doesn't matter. Probes can go off. Chocks in. Shan't worry about the drone, not the drones, the thingy me bob. What's it called? Good grief. Ground power unit.
Osprey 2472, you're 2 miles in trail of the aircraft in front of you. S turns approved for spacing.
S turns approved for spacing for Osprey 2472.
Let's configure for our next trip.
Actually, San Diego Tag Osprey 2472, I'll go around.
Osprey 2472, roger, copy, go around request. Fly runway heading, fly the published mist, and we'll see you next time around. Frequency change approved to Unicom 122.8.
And the landing rate monitor as well, we need to refresh
Fly the
this
mist approach
as well.
and contact Unicom 122.8, Osprey 2472.
Get her set up with the route plan for the next leg. Fetch from SimBrief. Set active plan.
San Diego Tower, good morning, Osprey 532, direct Lindy for the RNAV approach,
So,
runway 27.
what's SimBrief giving us now?
7,600.
We need to refuel the aircraft.
532, number tower,
We need to
good
request
morning, you're
stairs.
number 2. Following 737, short final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
I'm going to do the loading of the baggage in another menu.
Also, we have information
fuel
right
truck.
now, Osprey 532.
And San Diego Tower Osprey 27 Juliet Mike is on the ILS from RNAV approach.
6063 kilos of fuel for the next section. With our RF 100, good afternoon.
Final going around.
Another go around. I mean, look at the weather.
459, roger, fly runway heading.
It is pretty poo, isn't it?
Published mist,
Proper pea soup.
122.8. The aircraft you are following also is going mist approach, and that aircraft is at your 12 o'clock, about 1 mile altitude, indicates 2,300, 737.
Very exciting.
Roger that.
Fuel truck's attaching. How's Dave the fueler doing?
Osprey
There he is.
27 Juliet Mike, Limber Tower, good morning. Wind variable at 3.
He's almost ready.
Runway 27, clear to line.
Clear the master caution. Fuel truck release, let's refuel as well. Actually, I might round this up to 6100. Going to be on the ground.
Osprey 27 Juliet
with
Mike,
APU.
copy, go
Let's go
around,
6150.
fly runway
Another go around.
and fly the publish mist.
Wow.
Your number 3 on go around, a 737
Amazing.
and a company jet just went around. So fly the published mist and frequency change from Unicom 122.8.
Okay, next leg passengers. What have we got here? 135. Passenger bus. Stairs 1 left. Doors open. Yes, left entry's open.
San Diego Tower, Delta 141, get ready to go at the end, 27.
Let's watch him and see how quickly he disappears. Morning fog on the coast, Matthew, absolutely.
Is a 737 on an 8-mile final. Wind variable at 3. Runway
MPS Gaming, yeah, we're
27.
luckily safe on the ground. I'm not sure about safe.
Cleared for takeoff.
We're rather daring with that.
Clear to go, 141 then.
He is there in the fog, right centre of the screen now, if you can see him just about, perhaps. We'll see how quickly he disappears. Has the passenger bus arrived yet? Yes, it has. Let's start the boarding process for the next section. And then in it refs, we want index. KSAN. Gate 13. Flight plan request. Oops. Clear the scratch pad first. We want San Diego to San Jose. 366 nautical mile route. Nice and short. Off he goes. That was quicker than I anticipated. See how quickly he disappears into that morning fog at pea soup. Around about now, actually. Vanished. Dave, there's no ILS for the runway 27 approach, I don't think.
141. Departure's offline. Frequency change approved. The Unicom. We'll see you.
Freeware 141.
Okay, route uplink loading.
San Diego KSAN plus 4622 from you. IFR.
God, let's clear this weird music.
Going around.
Another go around.
Osprey 532.
Can't see him.
Copy. Go around. Fly runway heading.
Controller must be thinking, what on earth is going on?
Frequency change approved to Unicom 122.8.
Fantastic.
I missed approach runway heading, and we'll go back to Unicom 122.8, Osprey 532.
The weather's pretty awful. Perhaps the controller might switch it at some point soon.
Southwest 4622, Limerick Tower, good morning. Clear to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport.
Right, so we're still refueling, we're still doing all this, we shan't
transition, then as
baffle
filed.
that section just yet.
Expect flight level 370, 5 minutes after departure. Departures offline.
So let's see what it gives us, we'll make sure it tallies up.
5725.
Southwest 4622, cleared Phoenix with a due to departure and parallel transition.
57.8.
That's valid. Climb via the SID, signal by 370 for after. Departure line, squawk 5725.
Southwest 4622, read back correct, advise, ready to taxi.
Okay, well that's telling us 51.7. Payload. Got 135 on board. 51.6, zero fuel weight.
Hold your read back. Aircraft on final, your call sign only.
What I'll do is I'll tweak this.
Osprey 722, Limburg Tower, good morning. Wind variable at 3, runway 27, cleared to land.
Please land on
51.6.
Southwest 4622, go ahead again with your read back. I think you were stepped on.
And let me forget to close that door.
Southwest 4622 is clear. Phoenix is due to departure, rail transition, then as filed. Climb via SID, departure offline, 5725.
Southwest 4622, read back correct, advise, ready to taxi.
Alright, ready to taxi.
Fuel reserves. Let's get our alternate fin res, add them up. .7 and the average cruise wind for the second leg 302 at 24.
And Limburg Tower, Southwest 595 on the RNF for 27 at
Flight up 350 for cruise.
Southwest 595, Limburg Tower, good morning.
And we've now got to plug it into our ACARS system.
Clear to land.
Clear to land 27. 595.
So runway 27, grab the METAR and calculate the V-speed. So flaps 5, takeoff 2 it's given us. With no assumed temperature. Takeoff 2. Climb profile 1. 88.4, that's exactly as the calculator suggests, with flaps 5. Departures. Runway 27, and it's going to be the Silicon, nope, Ada.
Osprey 722, welcome to
Oh,
San
he made it.
Diego. Taxi to the gates via Bravo. Have a great rest of your day.
Amazing. But, so he's copying the stuff that we've set as well, by the way, so chocks, doors, all that sort of stuff. That's why his are open at the moment. That's great work, but getting that down in this weather. Pada 7, let's run this through Navigraph here. It's a lot of stuff pre-flight that we've got to handle and figure out.
San Diego Tower, good morning. Citrus 1770, inbound Lindy, RNAV 27.
Okay, I think. Yes,
With
okay.
Romeo on board.
Citrus 1770,
Perfect.
Limerick Tower, good morning. Your number 2 following a 737 9-mile final. Wind variable at 3, runway
There we go.
27, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 27, Citrus 1770.
Let's grab our descent winds, because this is an even shorter leg, I think. What we're expecting in San Jose is the Silicon 5 RNAV arrival, and we're expecting runway 30 left, I believe, unless the weather's changed. We're going to pin all the charts we need. Altimeter San Jose 29999.
Radio check, loud and clear.
Lovely stuff. $133. 143. 296. What's our takeoff top altitude? Flight level 150. 15,000 feet actually, sorry. Isn't it? States. The weather in San Jose looks pretty rubbish as well, to be honest. Let's get course 275 is runway heading. Actually, LNAV's got the turn in already. It's going to be 296. Ish. That's set. Transponder set 2000. We need to get our clearance now as well. So, how are we doing on the top? 3.5. That's open. They're off. It's all still good. Port entry door is open. Alright. We'll keep this map open because we're hoping we can see somebody touch down, unless there's another go around again. Information Romeo.
San Diego Tower, Red 7 Whiskey Alpha, RNAV 27 inbound, okay.
Red 7 Whiskey Alpha, Limerick Tower, good morning. Your number 3, following 737, 7-mile final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
Matthew, you joined the Citrus call sign.
27, Red 7 Whiskey.
Engine selector still on continuous. It is, good spot. Thought I'd reset that. Liberty Tower, hello again, Southwest 2844, stand 13 with Romeo, request IFR clearance to San Jose, Boeing 737.
Southwest 2844, Limerick Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose International Airport via Padres to departure by K transition, then as filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 340, 5 minutes after departure. Departures offline, squawk 5715.
Here comes the touchdown. Cleared San Jose, runway 27, paid a 2 departure via IKEA. We'll go and expect flight level 3505 5 minutes after departure. Score 5715, Southwest 2844.
Southwest 2844, read back correct, advise, ready to taxi.
Great work. Whoever that is. Keep those likes coming, folks, as well. Got the Mad Dog coming in next, I think. Coco Lada.
Southwest 5182, Limburg Tower. Good morning. Hello again. Your number 3.
51. So 57.
MD82 on a 6.5 mile final. Wind variable at 3. Runway 27. Clear to land.
It's on the departure.
7 clear to land. Follow me MD80. Southwest 182.
What have we got here? We'll go through it quickly. So we're going to depart runway 27, outbound, then north over the coast. At about 520 feet, heading north to Winfield.
Southwest 5.
And then heading out Colonel Gwynn, paid us.
Taxi to the gates via Bravo.
And then up to IKEA for our departure. Lovely stuff. It's a very short one, so what we're going to be then thinking about doing as well, once we brief this, is adding in our arrival route as well, like we did on departure from Tucson to San Diego, and then from IKEA,
do you have any
is there.
from anyone who's been able to see when we break out?
Southwest 5182, negative. There have been a number of go-arounds about 20 minutes or 15 minutes ago. And ceiling on the Mectar showing 700.
Oh, he's down.
Limerick Tower, Southwest 595. Yeah, we broke out about 300 above.
795, roger, thank you. Break Southwest 5182, to copy, breakout about 300 above.
The Osprey World Cargo Pro Pilot there. My door's open, so his door's open. If that makes sense. Right, now we're waiting for the MD80.
Southwest 4622, verify ATIS Romeo.
And Navigaff the whole time open there for you guys.
907.
43 296. What am I forgetting? But it's in my checklist.
Alright, runway 27, we have Bravo, and we have Romeo.
Menu, FS actions, ground surfaces.
Welcome to San Diego. Taxi to gates via Bravo. We'll see you.
Taxi to gates via Bravo for Citrus 1770. Thanks for the ATC.
Passengers are done. Let's release the bus, release the stairs. Arrivals in San Jose. Wind at the moment is... Where is it? 360 degrees at 4 knots, 9 static miles, few cloud at 500 feet, overcast 1,400 feet and broken at 1,000. So again, not much of an improvement weather-wise for us, but we're going to expect ILS runway 30 left via Clyde or Clyde.
San Diego Tower, Southwest 459 on it again.
Silicon.
Southwest 459, Limburg Tower, good morning, hello again. Your number 3, following 737, 2.5 miles.
VATSIM's on, execute.
Wind variable at 3, runway 27.
Going to make sure we haven't got any discontinuities. We've got one there, so Silicon.
Out about 300 above.
Max it out there, drop it in, and
clear to land, and
that's the rest of it.
The info. Thanks for that. And we will.
Enable 280 at Silicon. Why is that the case? Let's have a look.
Alright, 7 Whiskey Alpha going around.
Red 7 Whiskey Alpha, copy, go around. Fly runway heading. Fly publish missed. Frequency change.
Yeah, John,
Unicom,
proper pea soup there.
Runway heading Unicom, Red 7 Whiskey.
Sim with Elliot, what font do you use for your checklists? It's just our channel font that we use, Namala. So the same font that we use on our liveries and everything else.
November 405 Oscar Kilo requesting IFR clearance to Denver.
November 405 Oscar Kilo, Limburg Tower, good morning. Clear to Denver International Airport via Zoo.
Wow, yeah, it wants us to accelerate.
Meatball transition.
Fair enough.
Then as filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level
Right,
410.
where were we?
5
That's all
minutes
set.
after departure. Departure's offline. Squawk 5717.
That's all set with a takeoff 2D rate performance. And that's set with our V-speeds checks, 133,
Cleared
143
to
plus
Denver via the due to departure, ball transition.
10. And the descent forecast is in ready as well.
Expect flight level 410.
Yeah, B, hello, welcome.
5 minutes after departure.
ILS wise,
5717. November 405 Oscar.
we use the San Jose
November 405 Oscar, Kilo
SJC
Quebec,
VOR,
advise,
and we'll
ready to
add
taxi.
in 5 and a 10 mile fixed ring.
5182, welcome to
6
San Diego.
miles.
Taxi to the gates via Bravo, we'll see you.
Gates via Bravo,
And 10.
and we caught sight of ground at about 650 feet, runway inside at about 300 bucks.
There he is.
Southwest
Missed that
5182,
on
roger,
approach.
thank you.
This livery is also available on flightsim.to to download. Cabby, very nice, exciting. Southwest Terminal filling up here at San Diego. There we are with our Freedom 1 livery. The cruise altitude is changed to 340. Is it really? By whom? Is it the controller that changed it to 240? Ah, yes, he has. Okay, so let's recalculate that. 3-4. Gonna recalculate all of this. Kevin, wow, that was a butt puckerer. Clear that. It's gonna keep warning us of that.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, on through the runway 27.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, Lindbergh Tower. Good
That
morning.
is just
Hello
breaking
again.
out now.
Your number 2, following 737 over the numbers. Wind variable
Oh,
at 3, runway
that looked like a
27,
stall at the
clear
end.
line.
Something. Could have been wind shear.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike.
Oh, it's fighting it. It's got it nicely on the runway now. Great touchdown. Sporty. Going right to the end by the looks of it. Spin it back around. We've got somebody else on approach now. We've got loads on approach. Biggest fly along we've had in a long time. It's fantastic. So we'll zoom in.
Southwest 459, welcome to San Diego. Taxi to the gates via Bravo.
Jay, that's
Have a
fantastic
great
to
rest
hear.
of your day.
Thank you, and we made it down this time. Taxi to the gate via Bravo, Southwest 459.
Glad to see that. We'll see you next time. Southwest 4622.
Can't see anybody yet. So
Traffic,
our landing
737,
altitude into
7
San
mile final.
Jose is going to be
Wind
100.
variable at 3, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Clear takeoff.
Thank you, Jen. Got a departure over there. William, no problem at all. Love a bit of doom gloom. So San Diego is one of my, well, actually probably my favourite place in the United States. Said Jorio, no. Actually, yeah, once in the BA 146 we almost crashed.
Osprey Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, 1 departure prior to arrival. 737 on the takeoff roll. And numerous pilot reports. Expect breakout 300 above.
Off he goes.
The weather, like you said,
Looks like he's rotated a bit early there.
And San Diego now, Osprey 532, back with you again, direct lift for the RMT, runway 27.
Awesome.
Osprey 532 Limburg Tower, good morning, hello again. Your number 2, following company traffic, 3 mile final. Wind variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
Number 3, runway 27.
Groningen, that was it. Yes. Oh. Almost triggered PTSD coming back in here.
Frequency change approved Unicom, see it.
Cool, so our route today almost takes us into San Francisco. Landing rate monitors ready to go. We need to switch the top of the bars. A SJC. Still the same
Limburg
flight
Tower,
number.
November 405 Oscar Kilo is ready for taxi.
What would you need
November 4,
or want on your release for this
Oscar
takeoff?
Kilo. Verify ATIS Romeo on board. Altimeter 2997. Runway 27. Taxi via Foxtrot Charlie.
Runway 27.
That's a good
taxi
question.
via
What would you need or
Foxtrot
want
Charlie,
on your
November
release?
405.
Anti-ice or de-ice? Skyworker went to Navy boot camp just off departure. Runway 27, company busted looking for departures, had to do push-ups for every departure and stay up in position until the next one. That's fantastic. That's a great touchdown there through the haze. Looks like he's getting off nice and quick. How are we looking on Volanta? It's the right
Limburg
mess.
Tower, Southwest 5182, that's Romeo, with like IFR to San Jose.
Great work, John.
Southwest 5182 Limburg Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose International Airport via Padres 2 departure. IK transition, then it's filed. Climb via
We've still got
SID.
3
Expect
to come in.
360, 5 minutes after departure.
2 of those are go-arounds.
Departures offline, squawk 5714.
Clear to San Jose, near the Padres 2 departure, IK transition, then filed. Climb via SID, expect 360 and
Matthew, offer release, so flight planning related, nothing to do with the aircraft.
Southwest 5182, read that correct, advise, ready to taxi.
You know what? Really don't know. William, yes, we've got the payware San Diego scenery from LatinVFR.
Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, glad to see you made it in this time. Welcome to San Diego and taxi to the gates via Bravo.
I mean, we would have seen the central business districts, but the weather's so poor. Oh, takeoff alternate,
No
Matthew.
problem.
What about that? Look at that for a screenshot.
It's like heavy hour, 2 for 1.
Roger that.
There's the boat yards, the docks, and then Miramar, home of Top Gun, through the mist. We're pretty much just departing straight to Zero Viz, aren't we? Oh, Matthew, awesome. That was a rather good guess from me then, wasn't it? Only a guess. Not a very educated guess, I won't pretend. fact, I can tell you what our takeoff alternate is because I put it on my flight plan. LAX.
Aircraft calling for
no.
clearance to San Jose, call sign only.
Is it Ontario? AONT.
Osprey 722, I don't see an update on your flight plan on file.
I'll work it on hold.
San Diego, Tower Southwest 1380, looking to pick up power for clearance to San Jose.
Southwest 1380, Limber Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose International Airport via Padres to departure. IK transition, and then it's filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 340, 5 minutes after departure. Departure.
First flight, welcome.
Squawk 5732.
Airport to San Jose, the Padre 2 departure, IK transition, going to climb via the
There's
SID,
two, you can see diddly squat, he's really thick, isn't it?
Departure
Yeah,
offline,
Ontario.
5732 for Southwest 1380.
Top Gun School is now at Naval Air Station Fallon in Nevada.
Is that correct? Advise ready to taxi.
Not know that. I knew it moved, but I didn't know where it had gone to. Right, who have we got here? We've got Osprey 532 on final approach, Flyboire A32NX. Cocolada in his MD82. He's inbound for on number 2 for final approach now.
Delta 43 Sierra. Limber Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose.
I reckon it's time for planning pushback.
Padres to departure, IK transition.
So what I'll do to get a pushback in place is I'll click manual pushback.
Level 360, 5 minutes after departure.
It spawns the tug, and then it hits stop. Once it's happy, it's reset itself. What it will do is then push back. Well, it will release us for allowing us to do the pre-planned pushback thing. So a nice little tip for you if you've never used that before. Pop towards the corner of the stand, and then we'll commence a turn.
Delta 43 Sierra, read back correct. Advise ready to taxi.
Okay, well advised, thank you, Delta.
That'll do.
San Diego Tower, Red Kilo Whiskey Alpha, runway 27 Atlantic.
Red 7 Whiskey Alpha, Limber Tower.
This should work out quite nicely if we start to push and start.
Wind variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
Okay, what do we got? So engine start. Let's get anti-collision lights on.
532, glad you made it this time around. Welcome to San Diego.
Oh, he's down.
Taxi to the gates via Bravo, we'll see you.
Well, taxi to gates via Bravo, thanks for having us, Osprey 532.
Great work. The Flyboire A32NX.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches.
And Southwest 2844. Fully ready. Request push and start.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Southwest 2844, push and start, your discretion.
Look over Southwest 2844.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Gotta put that on because they want us to squawk mode Charlie.
You can start the engines in sequence.
Yeah, we'll start in the
Smoke ground. Oh dear, you know what I forgot? Chocks.
Osprey 2472.
Osprey 7.
Chocks removed, thank goodness. Every time.
Osprey 722, Limber Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose International Airport via Padres to departure, IK transition, then as filed. Climb via
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it, Anthony?
Expect flight level 360, 5 minutes after departure.
Engine fail.
Departure's offline. and squawk 5522.
Good morning, you. Clear to Jose International via the Padre 2.
Circ fans open. Use on bleed. AXA off. There we go. Whoopsie whoopsie.
Osprey 722, rebat.
Pumps are on. That's reset. Try again. It's always something.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Get rid of the music.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Is he down yet?
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side.
Not yet. There we are.
Position waiting for the visual.
That fisheye lens.
Goodbye.
Little gap in the cloud above. Is he on final still? Has he crashed? What's the MD-80's capability in this sort of weather? Volanta shows he's on very short final here. He did say advise when ready for push, so I thought I'd call him up. Doc, we're waiting for his landing, don't worry. The only thing there is the fact, well, the only reason why we started to push back is because there's so many aircraft that are going to be heading on. Here he is. The MD-80. Red Air livery.
San Diego Tower, good
what a pro.
morning. Type Boeing 737 Osprey. Correction, I'll start again.
Of course, they experienced a rather sad haul loss recently, but everybody on board survived.
IFR to San Jose, please.
Osprey 2472, good morning. Member Tower, clear to San Jose International Airport.
Great work, Cocolada.
To departure, IK transition, then as filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 360, 5 minutes after departure.
Rightio, let's get this ready, and we want flaps. So we can't do flaps 5 yet. We want ignition mode. Selector for engine 1 to start. There goes the N2.
Via the IRMA transition. Climb via the SID.
Oh what?
And then as filed.
Stop messing around. There we go.
Flight level 360, 5 minutes after departure.
Let's start engine 2 first. We're getting sidetracked here. One thing at a time.
Osprey 2472.
Great landing, Cocolada. Matthew saying, used to teach with a retired MD-80 guy from American. He would tell me about how on foggy mornings in MSY
glad you made it in this time.
Southwest would hold and wait for the MD-80 to land and blow all the fog away so they could get in. That's awesome.
There
we go, set that to ground. Yeah, conditions at San Jose look pretty rubbish as well, don't they? At SJC. Over 20, let's go fuel control lever run for engine 2 and 1, sorry. Where's Cocolada? He just taxied in down behind there. Not too dissimilar livery-wise to the tail on our Osprey Airways fleet as well, actually, interestingly enough. Through this rubbish weather, even though we have auto ignition, I'm actually going to select ignition modes to continuous for engines 1 and 2.
Osprey 532 is the Airbus A320 Neo at stand 10. Information Romeo QNH2 90907 requesting R5 clearance to San Jose.
Bit of wing anti-ice on. Check fans, please.
Osprey 532, Lindbergh Tower, good morning. Clear to San Jose International Airport.
Keep you off.
Via Padres to departure, IK transition, then as filed. Climb via SID. Expect flight level 380, 5 minutes after departure. Departures offline.
Flaps 5.
Squawk 5707.
Autobrake set RTO. We want
San Jose by the
to
Padres,
recycle these flight
to
directors.
departure,
I'm not sure if I've already
IK
done that.
transition.
LNAV.
And then we'll fly
VNAV.
by the SIDS, flight level
Auto
380 and squawk 5707, Osprey 532.
Init ref.
Osprey 532, readback correct. Advise, ready to taxi.
677.
Roger, Osprey 532.
Wrong way. About there. Takeoff trim and flight controls full and free. All the way right. All the way left. Back on the stick. Stick. Right with the rudder. Left with the rudder reset each time. What else have we done? Pack settle, reset fan APU off. Map service required trim, flight controls full and free, engine instruments checked. And that display is off. Let's just reset that. Southwest 2844, request taxi.
Southwest 2844, verify it is Romeo on board. Wind calm, altimeter 29908.
Affirm information Romeo to, and altimeter 29908 for Southwest 2844.
Southwest 2844, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
27, taxi via Bravo, Southwest 2844. Percolado, that's an incredible landing. Well done. It's tough, isn't it? Very low vis. Safety demo.
Alright, y'all. If we can pretend to have your attention for just a few moments, my two young identical twin son and daughter are going to show you the safety features because I'm so proud of these kids. To properly fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat into the buckle. To release, lift up on the buckle. Position your seatbelt tight.
Oi, oi, hello to you. Welcome. Okay, leg 2 of 2, folks. Taxi lights are on. We auto brake set RTO. We're going to check the gyro and compass. So a little left turn, and we can see that the nav display is decreasing on both compasses.
Check it out, check it out. You'll notice a highly unlikely event in the cabin lenses near a hot tub. Everybody gets their very own teeny-weeny yellow Southwest.
Attention all aircraft, data information, Sierra now current.
Turning right.
Calm, altimeter
Rolling right.
29908.
Increasing, increasing. Next airport is San Jose. We're currently in San Diego.
We don't discriminate at Southwest. We've got a special smoking section just for you. We'll even show you a movie tonight. We have Gone in 60 Seconds. And the flight attendant serving you, her name is Wendy, and her motto is if you like it, you can smoke it. Federal law group is
VATSIM, welcome.
destroying any smoke detector or webcam.
Hell damn, it was more than pea soup. It certainly was. It was tough. Nice little challenge for the day.
Just do what we say and nobody gets hurt.
Oh, Charlie is active for the taxi. Good.
Cabin pressure. If we did, we certainly wouldn't be at work tonight. But if needed for oxygen mask will drop the compartment overhead. Stop screaming.
Put a bit of power in. Do a Southwest taxi.
It's fully extended. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. To activate the flow of oxygen, simply insert 75 cents for the first minute and 50 cents for each additional minute. Although that plastic bag may not inflate, you are receiving lots and lots of jet oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry. If you're traveling with more than one child, pick out the one that you think might have the most earning potential down the road. And if you're traveling with somebody...
Delta 43 Sierra, thanks for Sierra. Runway 27, taxi via Bravo. You will be number 2 on Bravo following Southwest.
Yeah, very dreary day. Pea soup all the way for this approach, and our departure initially is going to route us through a bit of weather as well.
Just as soon as we land in Dallas. And if there's anything you can do to make our flight more enjoyable, we'll tell you immediately. We're not shy at Southwest. That's what we call very cheap entertainment. Nobody had to pay extra, but you certainly don't get a refund. Thanks again for choosing Southwest and welcome aboard.
We're Southwest 1380, ready for taxi. With information from me.
Okay, that's sweet, but cash is always better.
Southwest
Goes the APUs now shut down.
is Sierra, now current. Altimeter 29908, runway 27, taxi via
Blown up. You know what? I really like the split scimitars. I think they look quite sporty, don't they?
We have Sierra.
Alright, Southwest taxi time then. Let's get the speed up, shall we? Oh, bit of steering going on here. Oi oi, it was soft, yes, but it was rather hair-raisy as well. Very pea soup.
Osprey 722, push and start, your discretion.
Jeez, sure, that's insane. So LatinVFR's San Diego scenery, and we're off to the Orbx San Jose now. 2 payware airports. Tucson for our leg 1 where we began today as well, Freeware on flightsim.co as well as this livery. There's the windsock showing winds calm at the moment. Jeff, I don't mind it, I think it's quite cool. It's a cool livery. I'm determined to fly each
1380, there is a 737
of the really cool unique liveries.
If you can maneuver in the ramp area.
Alrighty,
Right
pre-takeoff checks at the hold, fuel flow.
Taxi as number 3 to runway 27, otherwise hold short behind.
Reset rate. V-speed's checked, MCP, nav data and radios have all checked as well. And we're quite happy with got set up ready to go. Takeoff page for performance is set.
We are ready for taxi now.
Southwest 5182, copy.
There's Bravo.
Sierra on board. Altimeter 29908. Runway 27, taxi via Bravo. Number 3 on the taxiway.
Get strobe lights on. And runway turn off lights, landing lights on. Might as well, because we're going to get a clearance.
Southwest 1380, you're following the company traffic just ahead of you. Number 4 on the taxiway. Runway 27 via Bravo.
There's the wing bar lights. Southwest 2844 is ready for departure, Bravo 1.
Southwest 2844, wind calm, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
Use as much of this as we can. Clear for takeoff, Southwest 2844. TARA for the transponder. Quick check of the overhead panel, we're good. We'll leave the wing icing on as well for this departure through the fog. They move at go home day speed all day, every day. Question is, are they on time a lot of the time? 'Cause if they are, then I guess it works. We'd stick with the yellow line if we were vacating, but we want as much of this runway as we possibly can. Very sharp turn. Should we reset our view? Engine T's and P's are stable. Logo. Cross set.
Airspeed's alive.
Delta 43 Sierra, runway 27, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 27, Delta.
Wow. Accelerated really rapidly.
San Diego KSAN, 2472,
Rotate.
ready to taxi with information, Sierra on board.
Osprey 2472, thanks for Sierra. Runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
Taxi Bay Bravo, fast right 2476.
Yeah, boy, let's go. Yeehaw. Okay, CMD-A is engaged for the right turn. E2 plus 10. Quarter brake off. Gear lever off. We'll retract the flaps in sequence. And we'll put the runway turn off lights on as well. Southwest 2844 is airborne 2000. Change it to Unicom.
Fine. Frequency change approved Unicom. We'll see it.
Thanks for the ATC, Southwest 2844. G'day, see ya. Flat retraction.
430, wind calm.
Let's set up actually, we're accelerating all the way, so that'll do us. And back to the checks. Cabin pressure. Well, there's the cloud tops. We are pressurising normally. Let's continue all the way up now to 340.
Southwest 5182, runway 27, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, 27, Southwest 5182.
Very sporty departure, isn't it? In a very cool livery.
San Diego direct AT scupper requesting clearance to San Jose.
We're climbing almost max rate of climb, to be honest. We're at 91% M1, so we're not far off squeezing all the power out the engines here for this departure. As we climb away up towards San Jose. Silicon 5 arrival, ILS runway 30 left via Clyde. Look at those clouds. Line Mark 2 indeed, let's go. Keep those likes coming, guys. If we can hit 100 before we reach San Jose, that'd be fantastic. John, that's weird. I cannot input letters and numbers consecutively into my MCDU scratch pad. I don't know what to suggest with that. Make sure that's turned itself off. Look at the clouds below, that's incredibly good. Cool livery, isn't it? Should be through 10,000 in a minute. Well, we need to check. We'll have a couple of actions to complete. Dive back in. Yeah, we're through 10. Get them off. That's an auto. And we're still pressurising quite nicely. Let's get rid of, we have turned that off already. Good stuff. Okay, we're away. We'll continue climbing through our transition altitude, so let's set standard pressure 1013. Hey, fantastic. Hello to you. Good afternoon. Delta 43 Sierra saying decided to jump on the flight. What's your cruise speed? Ooh, that's a good question. Maybe around max 7.8. Doc says San Jose runway 30 left is capable for Cat 2 ILS. Is it perfect timing for an auto land? What do you guys reckon? I like to hand fly these though. I like to hand fly the aeroplanes. It's actually saying max 7.7 actually. Nathan, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you're well. There's Gwyn. There's a T-Castler. At Gwyn. Atlanta. We're almost over Long Beach and therefore LAX. Burbank, LAX as well. All the airports down there somewhere in the coastline. Look at that haze. I mean, that's something. Atmospherics is something that Microsoft Flight Simulator is just doing very, very well at the moment. That is default. How good is that? Los Angeles is through the cloud there. Doc, yeah, very good point. Maybe we could do that. Yeah, this time we'll respect the minimums. And if we end up risking busting minimums, we will then revisit that. Tricky saying, I heard the cabin in the 737 isn't great. Is that true? Can't wait till I can get this aeroplane. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. To be totally honest with you, let's have a look. What's wrong with that? It's a little medium res, I guess. John, that's really strange. Perhaps you found a little bug there. Yeah, it's a bit medium resolution, but it gives us really good performance. Having said that, though, they have stated, PMDG have stated that they will be upgraded in the cabin in due course. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's going to be updated very soon. I mean, regardless, I spend very little time on a flight sim in the back through that door, so it doesn't really bother me. What's behind there? I'd rather the aircraft fly and perform very well and sound and look great. Yeah, weather in San Jose then, folks. .METAR KSJC. Winds are 320 degrees at 3 knots, 9 statute miles, and clouds are few, 300 feet, broken at 1,000 feet, overcast 1,400 feet. 16 degrees Celsius for the temperature and dew point plus 14, so almost completely saturated again, and altimeter 3,000. Sim, by any chance are you creating a checklist for yourself? If so, if it's for the 737 or the Fenix A320, just go ahead and download mine. They're free to use. That big concrete mass there is LAX. And And then Burbank is, I think that's Burbank there actually. There's a bit of concrete mass there near the hills. So I think that there, just out of view. In fact, cancel that. There's Burbank. And there's Los Angeles International. There's Santa Monica Pier. Matthew, interesting. So, something perhaps that I don't really understand is what is a Cat 2 ILS in comparison to a Cat 1 or a Cat 3? Upper climb coming up in 20 miles. And we'll be in the cruise for a little while yet. Legs. 192 miles to top descent, lovely. Tricky. Anything around, I would say, 200 to 300 feet per minute is actually a really good touchdown rate. But I'd focus more on the G rating. Anything around 1 to 1.2ish G, I think it's quite smooth touchdown. But there's, everybody gets tied up on landing as smooth as possible in flight sim, when realistically you want to land as accurately as possible. I mean, you don't want to bounce, you want to, but that is part of the accuracy of the landing as well. So you want to flare just right, at the right time, at the right speed, and then touch down in the touchdown zone. And if that results in a touchdown of about 350 foot per minute, so be it. If it was accurate, it was a great landing. Matthew, awesome. Aviation, good morning to you in South California. Great to have you tune in, flying over your home area in the States at the moment. Great to have you with us. Where's LAX? It's down here somewhere. There it is. Just at the top of your screen. Aviation saying this is the first time I get to see you live, but wanted to let you know how much I enjoy all your videos. A huge thank you. That's really nice to hear. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. There's a glitch in the matrix that's just resolved itself. So what it's doing at the moment is it's loading up the Feel Their Sim LAX scenery that we have installed, which is why it's glitching a little bit, because the sim's trying to play catch up and load it all up properly. There it is, LAX. And then Burbank is, where's the hills for reference? There you go. That little cross section. Oh, it's just disappeared. So that just there's Burbank, and Orbx have not long launched that Burbank V2. That's almost where we crashed a little while ago while I was learning to fly this thing. At our cruise now, 340. There's our transition Ikea. Oh, sim with Elliot, probably around 10 I'm going to say. 10, 15 flights in the 146, great aeroplane. Righty, let's look at Navigraph. So, thinking a little bit further ahead for the aeroplane, thinking about arriving into San Jose, so we can neaten up and clear all of our charts. There's our position at the moment, flying towards Ikea. Oh, there we go, so LAX and there's Burbank, and Van Nuys as well. There's our takeoff alternate, Ontario International, KONT, due to weather, if we had to turn back at this point. We're going to be doing the Silicon 5 arrival via Trox. So we're going to be scatter, Trox at 280 between 320 and 260, Silicon 280 at or above flight level 200, and then Valley between 15,000 and flight level 190 at 280 knots. And then we're going to be braking 3 to 8 degrees up to Guy, and then Wilson. 8,250 knots is that constraint, and gusty before hitting Clyde. Expect a signed instrument approach procedure at Clyde at 230 knots at or above 4,000 feet. Yeah, up towards a load of terrain, so we've got to be careful of that. Then we're going to expect the ILS runway 30 left, so pretty much a straight in approach from Clyde at that point. 306 degrees. Zulu, Jenny's, Hivac, Oral. Set our fixed rings in preparation already on the ground, so that's one less thing to do. But we've got a lot of data to configure in the aeroplane now, so we could do it now to save us a job if we're confident. We just want to get it done in time, or we can wait to top a descent and just prior to that get it all set, ready to go. But effectively, we're expecting this. 30 left. ILS frequency needs to be set 1109er, and the course for both course 1 and 2 needs to be set 306 degrees, and the San Jose VOR 114.1 needs to be set too. Missed approach procedures there as well. Cat 1 ILS, it's got SA next to that, so I assume that's going to be an auto land. Is that correct? SA Cat 1 special authorization is going to be Cat 2 special authorization. What will be the difference there? There's two charts. Ah yes, that's got to be an auto land because it's special authorization at the very bottom of the minimum. Special authorization Cat 1 ILS rad out 147. Well, sorry, RA 147. RA is 97 for the Cat 2 special authorization ILS, and then ILS, just the normal ILS charts, gives us the ILS decision altitude of 257 feet, which is what we're going to plan for at the moment. Criminal, very good question. Yeah, absolutely. It is important to set your landing elevation in the overhead panel over here because the aeroplane needs to know what to depressurize back to after landing. So with the Airbus, it will do it all for you. With the 737, this bit here of the overhead panel is still very 1960s, 70s. But you're asking where to find it. That's another great question. So I'll bring Navigraph back up because we've got it on the chart that we were just looking at. Right at the top you can see airport elevation of 62. If it was 122 we would round it up to 150, but it's not. Because it's 67, it's above 50, so we round it up to 100. And then as we descend, the aeroplane will know that it's got to depressurize to about 100 feet there and about. Pop a descent in just over 100 nautical miles already. So, those frequencies that we were just talking about. Just move the yoke a little bit, move the view. Nav 1 on the left, Nav 2 on the right. I'm going to set 1141, which is the San Jose VOR. Oakland 1168 for an alternate hold. Set that just in case. And then we need to make sure we've got the ILS frequencies tuned. So 110.9er. 110.9er. So they're both in the standby frequencies at the moment. And they're quite happy there, that'll do. 306 degrees on the course. So for course 1 and 2, we've got to make sure we've set the correct courses. Done. And we've set our fixed rings as well, so we kind of know what to expect. Matthew saying, so the SAILS charts for San Jose, just a special authorization with no auto land at SJC. Special authorization just means that the minimums are lower than normal, and or it doesn't have the normally required obstacle clearance. Interesting. That's good to know. The only approach you can auto land off is a Cat 3. If it doesn't say Cat 3, it isn't an auto land. Awesome. I think I was going to get a bit confused with what we were discussing earlier then. Right, what's next? Minimums. Heading bug. So, you see the little magenta box there? It's also there. But just for the view's sake, keep an eye on the one on the left, and if I change the heading display here, the heading dial, you can see it moving around, that's the heading bug. Okay, so now we need to set our minimums. So we're just going to do the normal ILS. Runway 30 left into San Jose, and the minimums for this is 257. So on the left hand side, sorry, of the MCP, we want to change our barrow down now to 257. There we go. And let's see, just calculate this. It's estimating that our planned landing weight is going to be around 55 tons. So init ref, approach ref 55.0. We can add it in to recalculate our estimated V speeds. You can go ahead and select one now, and it's suggesting flap 30 with auto brake 2 is going to be sufficient with full reverse. What's the runway length actually here at San Jose? Ooh, super long runways. Terminal A, gate 28, where's that? Alright, so that's by Terminal B. Okay, well if we turn reverse idle, recalculate this, we'll do a flap 30, reverse idle, auto brake 2 landing. How's that for a plan? And as always, I'll try and hand fly it in from 1,000 feet if the weather allows. So 130 knots. So flap 30, just make a note of this. F30, 130. Approach speed is going to be 135 knots. That 130 knots is the speed we want to try and target over the threshold. And we can see in this screen as well that we've got San Jose, runway 30 left. It's given us the runway length, which is really long, and the correct ILS frequency with the course. So we can match it up against what we've set there. And the frequency 1109. 09109 in the nav stacks there as well. So it all adds up, which is good to see. John, no worries buddy. Thanks for flying along. Dusty 2's earning his boost. Good to hear. 99 nautical miles to go for top of descent. So now we've selected it, we've pretty much prepared everything already for our arrival into San Jose. accidentally hit the yoke. Thankfully that didn't disengage anything, so we're good. Yeah, basically for the Boeing, you want to, if you're on LNAV, obviously the aeroplane's flying the headings and everything for you along your route, but you want to make sure that you've resynced this. So if we turn now on 330 degrees, when we roll out, or as we're turning to 330, we want to set 330. Just in case, for whatever reason, we need to revert to heading mode, or if LNAV fails, and we revert to heading select mode, the aeroplane's already set up ready to continue with what we've already been flying, if that makes sense. Okay, we have got traffic on, good. Fuel's looking good. Yeah, we've got to do the standby destination altimeter as well. We'll do that a little bit nearer to top of descent, just so we've got the most up-to-date weather data. There we go, look at that. Almost at the halfway point. Keep those likes coming. Still got 18 left to go to get to 100 in time. If you are enjoying today's live stream, I'd love it if you press the like button. It all helps the channel with Google's punishing algorithms. Especially as we're on the hunt for 20,000 subscribers. So if you haven't pressed the shiny red button down below to subscribe, then please do so. When we hit 20,000, we're going to be doing an awesome giveaway with a couple of prizes courtesy of the folks at PMDG as well. Definitely don't want to miss that, and we want to get that target hit as soon as possible so we can run the giveaway. Criminal says that's a really good thing, I should do that now, thanks, because when I'm near airport, approach vectors me, and when I do heading select, the aircraft starts turning left 290, I should do heading book now. Yeah, that's it, so keep it nice and straight, keep it along the route, so when you get your vectors and you activate heading select mode, you're already on the correct set heading, and you can just rotate the knob then to whatever you've been given. Matt just says, first time done a quick turnaround in the Mad Dog, works well, awesome, you're really enjoying that aircraft, aren't you? 87 likes now, thank you guys, love it. Those of you who check out the British AvGeek merch store every now and again as well, I've spent 2 weeks creating the Heathrow charts into a big PNG that can be used for custom designs of stuff. It's now 15K in resolution, and I've been able to put it onto mugs and a whole load of other cool stuff. So do check it out. Do check out the merch store for lots of new merchandise. Matthew, yeah, you're good. You're a big fan of the Mad Dog, aren't you? I still haven't got it. Still haven't got it. Kevin's enjoyed the Tucson to San Diego leg. Absolutely no problem at all. Always got to get through your list of chores as well. Thanks for the US Ops. Always enjoy flying along when I can. Great to have you fly along with us. No, it was fantastic to see so many people flying along through that first leg. It was really enjoyable. Winds are 320 degrees at 3 knots now, and altimeter 3,000. So 3000. And what do we want to descend to on the star? Let's have a quick look. Well, basically down to 4,000, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll aim for a continuous descent to 4,000 feet. If you want to get ahead of the aeroplane, then you could. $4,000. Just set the MCP now and reset the MCP altitude. Boom, done. So 306, 4,000 set. We're on. We've set with the local heading at the moment for our current sector, our current waypoint. We've got the navs 1 and 2 standbys set to the ILS frequencies. 1 and 2 have to be set for ILS, folks. And we've got currently 2 active VORs tracking San Jose and Oakland. Reese, good grief. Hopefully you're not too ill. Great excuse to fly along though, like you say. Good to have you with us today. And let's set the local pressure 3000 inches of mercury. So that is what your PFD is going to look like prior to your top of descent, and you want to make sure before you hit TD you've reset the MCP. You've got to make sure VNAV is armed, otherwise you won't get VNAV path. Pilot Alex, if you're watching, I've just had your Discord DM about your bit of software you've developed. I will take a look for my next live stream, which I haven't yet planned. Actually, it's going to be Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday, so I'll take a look Tuesday. Don't let me forget, folks. Where are we at the moment in June? Oh, we're right at the end of June. Crikey. Got an 18-hour shift on Monday, so Tuesday's live stream is going to be very interesting. Haven't yet planned the route, and then the next stream's probably going to be Friday, just before a night shift again. Woohoo! So criminal, there we go. So we've just turned, right? You can now see how offset the heading bug is, and throughout your flight, you'll find that it will become more and more and more offset. So just rotate it to match what you've just turned. You know what I forgot as well? Because I've got auto ignition, I always forget if I flick those to continuous. I tend to forget that they've been set to continuous because I look up and I see auto. So I'm always thinking, well, auto ignition, they're going to be an auto. I'd imagine pilots have gotten that many times in real life as well. How many people have we got flying along? Let's have a quick look at Volanta. There's us at the front. We've got Badger at the front there, flying offline. We've got Pro Camper behind, Southwest 5182. Delta 43 Sierra, Southwest 1380. Peter. Got Osprey 2472 Turbo Stig. And Osprey 722 for Gavin. Cocolada in Red Air 8 Whiskey Alpha. And that is everybody. About 8 of us flying on the network at the moment to San Jose, approximately. And you can see the screenshots we've added here as well. And also, we look here, we can see our first route from Tucson, really short leg into San Diego, just south of Phoenix, that little greyed outline there. So this leg here is actually a little bit longer, which is why we're flying a little bit higher. Peter, what's the 737 update about? So the one that they've released recently, or there was an update 2 days ago, wasn't there, for the PMDG 737, and there was loads of changes, probably about 30 changes, 20-30 improvements and tweaks. Oh, Dirty 2, you're possibly not on Volanta. It doesn't always show people, I don't know why. Starting to get close now. 20 miles to top of descent. So, pre-descent checks. Arrival and weather data obtained and set. We've already done that with the METAR. So we know what to expect, and we know we've got a bit of P-soup. Enabled 280 knots at Silicon, so it's already warning us now that we're not going to be able to achieve that speed at Silicon, which is coming up. But we'll make it work, find a way. It's a max speed anyway, so I'm not that bothered about not achieving 280. We might need drag. The aeroplane starts to accelerate beyond it. Landing altitude is checked, so up in the overhead panel we've set 100 feet, that's there, that's set. And radio's set, we've checked that twice now with the lock, ILS frequency and course is all set too. Wing engine anti-ice is not required currently, and MCP reset altitude, we'll aim for a continuous descent to 4,000 feet through the VNAV path. Altimeter set, 3,000 inches. Minimum set, 257 feet. As an altitude, minimums, not height. And approach has been briefed. So, for that approach, we've got what we're going to be doing for the Star up to Clyde at 230 at 4,000. Then, as we mentioned before, we're going to go from Clyde to intercept the ILS by 30 left approach into San Jose. Initially, we're going to aim to intercept the glide slope probably around 4,000 feet. But in any case, for about 10 DME, we need to be at 2,700 feet to intercept the glide slope down, which will be a 3-degree rate of descent down to the runway. Minimums of 257 feet. Altitude, as we mentioned before, if we were going to be using our radio altimeter, or radio altitude, would be 200 feet above ground level at that point as its equivalent. Yeah, we've set 2 fixed rings, 6 miles and 10 miles. And for the missed approach, we'll climb straight ahead, runway heading to 1,900 feet outbound on the San Jose VOR radial 303 degrees to arc attack. We'll intercept 7 DME and hold there. And we've pre-configured for a alternate hold at Oakland should we need to use that one, which is that little inset box there. We're doing flap 30 approach with idle reverse and auto brake 2. Because the runways are really long, we're going to aim to vacate probably around Kilo at the bottom here. Kilo or Lima. They've got that. Or even Juliet. Juliet or Kilo. Vacate, we'll cross 30 right before then heading down towards Terminal Bravo at the bottom here to try and park at gate 28. Which is there. Right at the bottom of Terminal Bravo. And we've got the Orbx payware scenery, which I will be checking out for the first time. Very exciting. Top of descent already, so we're already on our way down, and we need to set auto brake 2. So below transition altitude, which is in the States, 18,000 feet, we will set our local QNH. Epic gaming, very nice and toasty. Below 10,000 it will be landing lights on, runway turn off lights on, seatbelt signs, cabin lights as required, and then we'll confirm ATIS and approach. Seven more likes to 100, folks. Let's make it happen. And as we get a bit closer as well, I'll aim to try and find out what you reckon the landing rating will be for today too. Yeah, some more updates from PMDG coming in the near future as well, of course. When the 600 releases with the custom LNAV version 2, that will be updated into the 700 as well. And that's fairly imminent as well for a release. We'll be looking forward to previewing it nearer the time. And of course we'll be previewing the 737-800 if you're new to the channel, tuning in, wondering what's all going to be happening. Yeah, Dirty too. The Flyboys always struggled with RNAV. Cichorio. Yeah, 777's going to be fantastic when that does arrive. Get some nice long haul ops, or even some short haul ops. I'm thinking something like Heathrow to Madrid, British Airways. That's going to be great. Yeah, sometimes I wish I had water cooling. I don't have anything like that. Anything funky in PS Gaming. I don't have anything like that. There have been times where I thought it would definitely come in handy for sure. Got here, make sure this is good. Cabin is now starting to slowly depressurize. Awesome dock. That'll be a great route as well. Yeah, across the pond, that's going to be fantastic. Cross the land as well with the 777. It's going to be everybody's go-to aircraft in MSFS very quickly, isn't it? And not forgetting as well, Aerosoft will be bringing their A330 soon. Hopefully, I should say, at some point this year. Still not. We've got the Oakland VOR. We haven't picked up the San Jose VOR yet. I'm just going to cross-check the frequency. 11.1. Decimal 1. 1109. Both of those. That's good. Never check those enough. Ah, yeah. The Fleet Builds A310 in November. That's going to be good. That'll be after Cross the Pond's passed as well. But yeah, we've got a winter. With a couple of really cool sounding long hauler aircraft, twin aisles coming soon. I'm sure Matthew would agree, but what we need is a good 767-300 and a 757-200 as well. That's always been on my list of things. There goes the drunk drone camera. Mike's trying to catch us all up. Fantastic. Straight up to the edge of the barber pole. In fact, what we're probably going to want is a view to come out this way a little bit, because we'll be working through here. Neil has to do a fuel check now with the Pudgy. The Pudgy? Boeing is making a 767 match. Are they really? Enable 280 at Valley. That's fine. That's because we're reaching it at 280 anyway. We can just clear those messages. We're still on for 55. Fuel's looking good. Oh, PMDG. Yeah, you certainly do, yeah. I was thinking, what a weird nickname for the 737. Through transition, let's go to local pressure. Just going to quickly retweak the VNAV there. We'll be slightly above, but that's nothing to be too concerned about. And around we go. Going to warn us again, enable 250 at Wilson. See, that's more of a one that we need to be careful of because we're going to have to be decelerating at that point. So we're going to maybe help the aircraft with a bit of drag at that point. Mike reads Southwest 6969. Nice. Okay, so minimums are set. We briefed from a missed approach. Set our V speeds. We've checked those. And we're now below transition. Inbound GOI, or whatever it's called. Find that on the charts, at or above 11,000 for that one, so that's in 8 miles, certainly achievable. There's a huge 10 nautical mile hold at Wilson. If it was really busy, we'd be holding pretty much between these next two waypoints here, Goy and Wilson. That's how long that hold leg is. I'll show you on the charts. Look at that. Absolutely massive for a hold leg. Over 100 likes, thank you folks, really appreciate it. Good to see so many of you enjoying today's live stream. Okay, well we need to have a bit of drag now I think, because the aeroplane's thinking about needing to slow down. But you can see we're ever so slightly starting to drift beyond that magenta speed target. We'll let itself get past Goy. There's these two little green dots, which I think are our speed limit areas, our sort of decel points. You see the speed difference there. What we've got to watch at this section is we don't go too high above our target. A little bit of flight detent just to see what the aeroplane does. There's a lot of system management here. We don't want to make sure that everything's working quite nicely. I'm helping the aeroplane decelerate to about 250. FMC speed, right, so we need to get rid of this now. It's going to start to work to accelerate itself, so let's intervene. was wondering when that was going to kick in. Good to see. San Jose traffic, southwest 2844, 737 inbound, 10,000 feet. Expecting ILS, runway 30 Lima. Via the Payders 2, actually correction, Silicon 5 arrival. Only passing Wilson. Properly stuffed that up. There you go, it told us we were unable 250, we've made it able at 250. Happy days. Terrain, highest peak 4,200, we've got some cloud around us now, look at that. How remarkable is that? Very cool. Again, Microsoft Flight Simulator's weather engine really setting its bar high. Look at that haze rolling over the hills. Flat and Palanta as well. Huge procession of us. I think the back of the pack's over Santa Barbara still. So we'll vacate and we'll do a bit of plane spotting on the way in as well. What we've got here for V-speeds and stuff for the VNAV. Let's see. Bring this in. There's Clyde. 4,000 to go and a decel point there as well. Drag required after Clyde. Roger. So we're going to put this on now. And we'll leave that message on there, I think. In fact, no, I won't, because something else might pop up. I'll approach on the little standby instruments, and we're going to go into some pea soup. Don't let me forget to turn those off.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we make our final descent, we ask that you please return all seatbelts and tray tables to the full upright and long position. Participants will be compensated now and one last time to pick up all those service items. We do recycle here at Southwest Airlines, so we ask that you please pass all your recyclable items, newspapers, magazines, bottles, and cans to the flight attendants as we walk through the aisle. Thank you.
So deploy some speed brake. Help manage the energy of the wings and things. Ian, yeah, absolutely. It's really quite cool, isn't it? Look at that. Some proper cloud surfing now. We're below 10, aren't we? And I forgot lights. Done signs. Getting sidetracked. Easily done, I guess. We've got anti-ice and set everything's required. Looks like weather's just updated itself. Back to the checklists. And the next section is going to be approach. So nav course and frequency are set. We need to make sure now we've actually selected both of these into the active boxes, and the courses are set as well. Reduced now to our next set of speeds down, and on our charts, ILS 30, 3000. Oh, let's go down to 27, shall we? 27. Nearly, just a setting inside the FMS there. On approach mode, so there's the glide slope. Let's go flap 5. Still a bit far out. Well, actually, we've got the lateral guidance. Let's set 306. 180. Terrain below, we've got to be careful of that. The terrain map is on, but it won't give us the terrain map in this mode. Okay.
Delta 43 Sierra, what's your indicated airspeed? Indicating 248.
Lock and glide slope active, CMD8 engage.
We'll try and keep the speed down as much as possible.
Flap 10.
No problem, thank you.
Single channel. On 60 till 4. And we're on the glide already. 219 for the hold. San Jose traffic, southwest 2844 is inbound 11 miles on the ILS runway 30 left, San Jose traffic. Let's keep it going in. Revert to the checklist. Speed brake is armed. I'm going to visually check it as well. Approach mode is armed and active. CMD A and B are set. Flaps about 2,800, about 10 miles now. So let's go.
2,500.
8 miles from the threshold actually. Get down. Flap 15.
San traffic Delta 43 Sierra. Left at 14.
Engine start mode switches set continuous. Lights signs as required, and landing gear is down 3 green. Flaps 15 at the moment. Go flap 2, flap 25. Toxic idea, thank you, buddy. There we go. Bit bumpy, but we're starting to pick up the approach, and we wanted 135 now, so let's set up for fun approach. Let's get nice and settled. Lap 30, I'm just going to fix that discrepancy there so it's nice and accurate, and now we're set. Sure, nice and comfy. Go around altitude is set. Lap set for landing. So there's the airport. Water throttle off. Autopilot off. They're flashing red. Let's just reset those. We'll hand fly her in for the rest of the way, I think. So it's my throttle, my controls. Tiny little adjustment there on the ILS. Pitch for speed. Power for the rate of descent.
1,000.
Better. Remember, it's going to be reverse idle. So much to do in the Boeing. Yes, at least we can see the runway this time, absolutely. Variable winds.
500.
Look at that, they've even modelled this San Jose scenery, the factories on the left hand side on final approach. Amazing. Speed's looking good, we're below the glide slope, but actually we're visual with the approach. I'm quite happy that we're flying this visually nice and stable. it says, as then the glide slope balloons, or we balloon slightly into the glide slope. So let's just get rid of some of the throttle here. Get our rate of descent back.
Approaching minimums. 200 minimums.
Traffic Delta 4374 on 5930.
100.
Speed's good, rate of descent's good, profile's good, looking to the end.
30.
Throttles to idle,
10.
holding the flare. A little bit before the touchdown zone actually, I was going to hold the flare for that. Reverse, idle, and decelerating. Manual brakes. Past a caution. And that would have been reverse idle. Auto brake off. Spoilers disarmed. San Jose traffic, southwest 2844 is clear of 30 left, crossing 30 right. And southwest 2844 is clear of 30 right, San Jose, and exit to the apron. Strobe steady. Landing lights off, runway turn off lights off, taxi lights on. Let's just get back on profile here, sort out our steering. If I can, slow right down. I'll be able to just about capture their touchdowns. Here we go. Nice. There's another one on short final there. Lap's almost up. Got icing again. Whoops, 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 whoops.
San Jose traffic, southwest of 182, short final, 30 left.
Spokane, this is your aircraft, so please remain seated so Shannon can come from the back and get an accurate passenger through count. If you're making a connection here in Las Vegas, just check the TV monitor for your gauge and flight number. We certainly have enjoyed spending part of our morning with you.
Let's turn traffic mode off. Let's turn terrain mode off. That on. Stand by.
Runway 30 right, on to...
Oh look, there's a Lowe's. That's a really good bit of scenery they've put in here. Except for the double windsock. God, there's 3 windsocks there. That's got to be an oversight. I don't get when payware developers drop the ball slightly on little things like that. Delta SkyTeam logo jet. I will have to give way to him. Here comes another Southwest Californian livery. Great touchdown. Bang on the zone. Fantastic. Let's reset the drone camera here, so we're going to be able to zoom about a lot quicker. But it does mean that my drone camera skills are about to get very messy. Right, what stand were we going to do? Stand 13, so right at the end.
Traffic, southwest of 182, vacated 30 left, crossing 30 right.
Let's park up Southwest style, shall we? You can always, buddy, thank you. Robes off. Pop taxi light off. Bravo 28, yeah, that's where we are going. Right at the very bottom of the building, kind of actually where these guys have parked. The end of this building here, one of these is 28. Are they signed? 22? 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so where those vans are there actually, that's where we're heading. If I've got this right. How many more have we got to land? Does anybody know? That's the caution for anti-ice. Six. Oh, yep, there he is. So he gets out of the way, and then we're going to park up. See, that's all good. Still got a bit to go. That's a messy bit at the end. Cock that up.
And as a traffic on space 472, we'll try and maintain best possible speed to give you guys a break and getting behind.
Okay, so now here's the dilemma. We could shut down everything. Let's shut it down actually. We've got the APU fired up, haven't we? Yeah, so let's shut down the engines. Then we can pop the beacon off, the collision lights off. We won't worry about anything else because otherwise all the other folks that are heading in are going to end up getting a weird sort of view with the doors open and things. You know what I forgot as well? Done it again, Doc. Where is he? There we go. Haha! Whoops. There we go, so the engines are spooled down now to a nice rate. Clicking away, rotating away. If we zip over to the runway, should start to see a few folk begin their approach. San Jose's Orbx scenery is not too bad actually. The freeway's nice. But then that's a bit
traffic, Osprey 2472 is established to ILS, runway 30 left. San Jose traffic.
Looks alright. Purchased this last week in preparation for today. There's the old Terminal 1. Some of the car parks in the distance. What else have we got? There's not really much to the scenery, is there? Got a plain looking hangars. Weird, because on approach they had a couple of the things further out the airfield all detailed, so I was kind of expecting to see a bit more here. There's the stadium. Not sure who plays there. The lows in the background. Here's the runway 30 left. And there's the touchdown zone.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 2472, 10 nautical miles to run. Still doing 195 knots.
Well, he's going to have to slow the airplane down at some point. Holy moly.
San Jose
traffic, Alpha 722, 1 miles to run, slow down as much as I can.
And San Jose traffic on 3532 is direct glide. We're also reducing speed to minimum approach speed due to new traffic. San Jose traffic.
Loads of people flying in. Busy, busy. Sounds like 3 on approach. Tons of screenshots from today. 2, 4. And I'll put them all into Discord. Going to burst out through that cloud any second, I think.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 2472, 5 nautical miles.
San Jose Quakes soccer. Ah. Not American football then.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 722, 11 miles.
Imagine no problem at all. Here comes the first. Here we go. Awesome touchdown. That looked properly silky smooth. He's quick. He's very quick. There's the end of the runway. Brakes.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 532 is established on the localizer for runway 30 left.
Yeah, right up the end there.
Descending via the glide slope, San Jose traffic.
Osprey 2472 is clear the active runway. San Jose traffic.
San Jose traffic.
Osprey 2472 is clear the active.
Good work, AM. Cheers.
I have definitely arrived.
And Southwest 45, Osprey 532 is behind you. We're reducing speed to minimum approach speed, just for separation. San Jose traffic.
San Jose traffic, correct, Whiskey Alpha 15 miles. San Jose traffic, Osprey 722 going in as fast as I can. San Jose traffic.
There's another one on short final now. 111 likes. Thank you, folks. Great to see you all enjoying it today. Those of you in green today, the channel members in the live chat, you have a little think, especially if you're Australian. Do a slightly earlier stream on Tuesday, and we'll see what we can come up with. We'll do some Australian type flights for those of you in Australia, New Zealand as well, and the Far East who like to watch the channel during live streams. Try and do one slightly earlier than usual, so that it's not superbly late for you folk. So help us plan a route, come up with a route. Can be Australia. We've got the new Melbourne Landmark City Pack as well. We could go and explore that. Happy for any ideas. Let's get rid of this sleepy Joe Biden music. Okay. Nice. Pretty much exactly where I touched down as well. Good effort.
San Jose traffic, Red 8, Whiskey Alpha, 10 miles, doing a 360 for separation.
That sounds like Coco Lada's coming up.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 722, clear runway 30 left.
I was going to have to cross the active runway now. Wowzers, that was quick. He's done a great job to get off that fast.
32 is 70 ME to land direct,
Incredible.
runway 30 left.
Yeah, this for a fly along. Great work, folks. Hope you're all enjoying it as well, those who've taken part in flying with us. Nice little 2-sector route today. Thanks to Centurio, well, for suggesting the route from his hometown of Tucson. Oh, that's a great touchdown. Fantastic. That's an AIG model, so that's why that one's got sounds. Got another one on final as well. It's actually time for Gav to cross, I think.
Cheers.
Well, we've got 3 on final.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 532, final span, 40 ME, runway 30 left.
Perhaps not.
San Jose traffic.
There he is. He's very close.
San Jose traffic, south of 75, from Juliet crossing at 30 right to the ramp.
San Jose traffic, Red 8, Whiskey Alpha, ILS 30 left, 7 miles.
Flyboy A32NX, this one. Which is then Dirty 2, I think. Oh, look at those emissives. Bit of a float. It's got it down.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 722, crossing runway 30 left.
Fantastic. Great to have a variety of aircraft today as well, with the MD-80s, with PMDG 737, the Phoenix A320, the Flyboy A32NX. There's Gav having a little runway crossing.
San Jose traffic, Osprey 722, crossing runway 30 right.
Ian, I have every alarm under the sun going off in the cockpit. I think I'll pack it.
Vacated at Juliet.
Fantastic.
San Jose traffic,
This is
Red 8, Whiskey Alpha, landing
the Mad Dog
30 left.
MD-82.
And San Jose traffic, Osprey 532, via Juliet, crossing runway 30 right, San Jose traffic.
This is Cocolada. His Red Air Mad Dog. Something I didn't know until recently. I think it was Matthew actually in the live chat that's mentioned it to us. The Mad Dog's landing lights are on the wingtips, which is quite quirky. Very quirky aircraft anyway. And I will try, if I'm just going to position the camera here, because I want to try and capture a screenshot with him on just prior to touchdown.
532 taxi to parking via taxiway Zulu, San Jose traffic.
Oh yeah. Got him. There he goes. Warming those brakes up. Where's Valanta? See who else we've got on final.
San Jose traffic rate 87 across, increase road right.
Mikey Reed is on way in now as well, I think. Is he on VATSIM? Let's have a look. Coral? Got it right at least. Oh no, he's not on VATSIM. That's all of us then, isn't it? So. Oh, look at that. We've absolutely filled up Terminal 1. Terminal 2. And on the basis of that, actually, if we zip back to the aeroplane. What we can do, whilst the other guys are just parking up, now that everybody else has sort of done their bits, we can go FS actions, ground services, chocks, ground power request. We can request on a fuel truck. What have we got here? We've got an air bridge, haven't we? Lovely, let's use it.
San Jose traffic, Osprey
Switch that to
272,
jetway.
taxi into the gate via Zulu. I got the things going again.
AF loaders, carts, request, all of those. We can deboard the aeroplane, board the lavatory, request, yes, we don't want any of those. What we want to do is go to doors. That's it. I think where it is, let's just click the button in here. Get away. Done. Entry door forward. Ground services. Target at 0. Keep planes start. So now we're basically getting rid of everybody. 0 on these. They're all starting to arrive. So how this works is the sort of various baggage carts and things will appear. Oh, it's a static. Damn it. Oh. Fantastic. Various baggage carts and everything like that will start to appear, and each one will hold in position till the other one is parked and connected and done what it needs to do before it commits to the next stage, if that makes sense. Yeah, very cool little route that we've flown today. 2 sectors from... there it goes, there's the other one. Lovely stuff. From Tucson to San Diego, and now to San Jose to finish it all off. And loads of you have flown along as well, so thank you very much for those of you who've taken part. Very warm welcome to Neil, Arthur, Frasers for hitting the subscribe button down below, and everybody who's hit the like button too. If you haven't subscribed, please do press the big shiny red button and become a subscriber down below, and give us a little thumbs up before you head off as well. The next stream's going to be probably around 1000 UTC roughly, or 0900 UTC on Tuesday. Haven't quite decided. It'll be a route yet to be confirmed on our Discord server as well. So head there for all the latest. Get you up to date with what's going to happen for the next couple of live streams as soon as we find out and work it all out. Thank you very much for flying along. Thanks to our ATC earlier, and hope you have a great week ahead. Wish me luck for my 18-hour shift tomorrow. starting at 4 in the morning. It's going to be great. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Cheers for that. Good, great strain.